This is your TTT News Update. I'm Carrie Roberts. Making the news at this time. Minister of Energy and Energy Affairs, Dr. Rudal Munilal, has confirmed that Trinidad and Tobago has been invited to participate in the Guyana Energy Conference, which takes place from February 17th to the 20th. Speaking to reporters at the post-cabinet media briefing on Thursday evening, he noted that discussions are apace to select a high-level delegation to represent TNT, which will soon be finalized.
We expect to have a very important high-level delegation attending, participating in discussions with His Excellency Irfan Ali, President of the Cooperative Republic of Guyana, Vice President Bharat Jagdev, Minister of Natural Resources, the Honorable Vikram Bharat, and others. We expect to meet and discuss several issues of related interest to both the government and people of Guyana and the government and people of Trinidad and Tobago.
The Guyana Energy Conference and Supply Chain Expo is an annual event uniting industry leaders, policymakers, and stakeholders to explore developments and opportunities in energy and supply chains. And Dr. Munilal also confirmed that this country has also been invited to Caribbean Energy Week in Suriname, carded for late March.
Again, for the record, we have been invited. I don't think we have arrived at a conclusion in terms of attendance and composition of a delegation, but I believe that we are properly invited, and we have been in touch with Minister Patrick Broomings. In fact, he's the Minister of Energy there, and he has been in touch with us, and I think he's very eager to receive a delegation from Trinidad and Tobago, and we will certainly consider that in the coming days.
Caribbean Energy Week 2026 takes place from March 30th to April 1st in Paramaribo, Suriname. In other news, San Fernando Mayor Robert Parris says the city will make do, emphasizing that the San Fernando Carnival Committee must ensure value for money to keep the festivities alive amid what he claims is reduced funding. On Wednesday, Minister of Culture and Community Development, Michelle Benjamin, noted that despite the announcement from the San Fernando Carnival Committee to suspend the competitive aspect of its celebrations due to reduced funding, she assured that the revelry in South Trinidad will continue as planned. Speaking during a media conference on Thursday, San Fernando Mayor Robert Parris said the city will scale down some measures to ensure Carnival continues, even noting that last year its Carnival Committee was forced to relocate major events to keep costs within budget. This year, though, he said the committee will ensure monies are spent wisely.
So I was quite clear and concise in stating $700,000 is not enough to run Carnival, and we will make do with it. However, my only request to the San Fernando Carnival Committee is to look at new suppliers whereby we could get the same quality supplies in terms of infrastructure at a cheaper cost, or go to the persons that regularly supply us and negotiate, because we should never run a committee, just like we should never run a business, in debt.
The mayor also said that he remains open to meeting with the minister.
The floor was open, and the stakeholders indicated that perhaps we should forego the competitive aspect of the Carnival, still conducting Carnival. However, what we should do is invite members of the government and invite the world to see why San Fernando Carnival is worth more.
In some sport now, Royal Challengers Bengaluru are the Women's Premier League champions once again. RCB pulled off a record run chase to claim their second title while inflicting yet another final heartbreak on the Delhi Capitals, who now lost all 4 WPL finals. Chasing a massive 204 for victory, RCB reached their target with just 2 balls to spare, thanks to a tournament record opening partnership. Captain Smriti Mandana smashed 87 off 41 balls, while Australia's Georgia Vole contributed 79 off 54 as the pair put together a breathtaking 165-run standoff, 92 deliveries. Mandana finished as the tournament's leading run scorer with 377 runs before falling in the penultimate over, bowled by West Indies all-rounder Chanel Henry. With 10 needed off the final over, Rada Yadav sealed victory with back-to-back boundaries over cover. Earlier, Delhi posted 203 for 4, the highest total in a WPL final, with captain Jemima Rodriguez top scoring with 57 and Henry's explosive unbeaten 35 off 15 balls. The victory makes RCB joint most successful side in WPL history alongside Mumbai Indians. And that's what's making the news this morning. But joining us right now is the host of Trinidad and Tobago Today, Vermala Balkaran. Good morning, Vermala.
Good morning, Carrie. You look so lovely this morning.
You look very lovely. You took the words out of my mouth.
Well, today actually we're wearing J&K signature styles.
We
so
are.
it's very special good morning to J&K and thank you for
thank you very much.
for these amazing outfits.
I know, like look at this suit, like very snazzy.
That was my choice for you.
I know.
I will take all the credit for that all day
You know
long.
what? You should get all the credit for that one because
Also,
you chose
Carrie, did you know that today's Pay a Compliment Day? So I'm encouraging you to pay a compliment to anyone, not just me, but to anyone that you meet today.
Let's spread the love a little bit more.
Spread all the love.
Yeah, because you already gave me a compliment, I gave you a compliment, so let's spread it to the wider TTT, but the wider Trinidad and Tobago as well.
That's
Trinidad
right. We've
is
got
sweet.
so much on the show for you today, Carrie, and maybe we'll see you a little bit later on as well.
These are not just stories. They are the echoes of who we are, passed down in voices, in silence, and in memory. From the heart of the Caribbean, where history, mystery, and magic meet, this is Echoes of Our Folklore. Echoes of Our Folklore. Your weekly journey into the legends, stories, and whispers of our islands. Brought to you by Talk City 91.1 FM. You may wonder, how can a tree become a legend? But for centuries, one towering giant has stood not just as part of the landscape, but as part of the lore. They call it the silk cotton tree, also known as the ceiba, the kapok, the jumbi tree. Its massive roots grip the earth, its branches stretch high into the sky, and its shadow carries stories older than memory. Long before the modern world, the first peoples of Trinidad, the Amerindians, believed this tree was a dwelling place for spirits. They didn't worship it, but they revered it. Later, when Africans were brought to the island, they too learned to respect the silk cotton. So deeply, in fact, that many refused to cut it down for timber. That fear still lives today. Engineers, planners, workers, even with blueprints in hand, have been known to walk away rather than disturb a silk cotton tree. Better to reroute a road than to awaken what lies within. For the old stories warn, inside the trunk, inside the roots, dwell spirits not meant to be disturbed. And if you dare to cut it, if you strike the silk cotton, if you chop away even a single piece, the lore says you will be struck dead. Immediately, no second chances, no mercy, just silence. So when you pass one on a lonely road, when its massive branches loom above you in the moonlight, remember, in the Caribbean, some trees are not just trees. They are guardians, they are warnings, they are alive with stories we were never meant to forget. Another tale from our islands, reminding us that the past, the spirits, and the stories of our ancestors are never far away. You've been listening to Echoes of Our Folklore. Echoes of Our Folklore. Only on Talk City 91.1 FM. These are not just stories, they are the echoes of who we are, passed down in voices, in silence, and in memory. From the heart of the Caribbean, where history, mystery, and magic meet, this is Echoes of Our Folklore. Echoes.
After Carnival, TNT, the show you all been waiting for. Laugh till your belly busts. In partnership with Talk City 91.1 FM and TTT Limited, 28th of February at Napa Port of Spain. Showtime, 8 p.m. sharp. Come see the funniest guys on the planet and the man who took social media by storm, Victor St. Louis, aka Pelp.
You know, things so hard right now in Trinidad. You know, a store in town, no fire, 2 mannequin.
All his funny friends. Kenneth Superstar, the greatest story time teller ever. Shaquille, Louis Spider-Man Antoine, Andrew Friday, The Saint.
Okay, me you know, first it's so expensive. I went and priced a plate there. You know, they're telling me $10,000 for a plate. I say, only I know sauces.
And Paniska is back.
Stop it, honey. Don't bring out the dog in me, you know. I better scrape you. Meow.
Get those tickets now. Ronnie and Caro, Mascot, Maraval Road, Port of Spain, Bruce Bar, St. Augustine, and islandetickets.com. For ticket hotlines, call 278-5892, 316-0814, 382-9986. Laugh till your belly bust.
Your stories, your communities, your country. TTT News is everywhere, on the ground, across Trinidad and Tobago, and on every smart device. TTT News, nightly at 7. TTT News, committed, accurate, relevant.
Talk City 91.1. Thought-provoking conversations, bold perspectives, voices you trust. Listen on 91.1 FM and connect on Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok. New shows, new features, big giveaways. Talk City 91.1. Your city, your voice.
Go.
What is all this old noise? Wait, Mom streaming movies, Danny playing games, and Jenna blasting music all at the same time?
Yeah, remember we upgraded to Digicel plus 500 megabits per second plan. $500 to upload just as fast as download. So everybody could do their thing. Same time, no lag.
Well, I'm not fighting for Wi-Fi again. Pull up HBO for me there.
Switch to Digicel Plus. Fast, reliable, 100% fiber home internet. Perfect for families with plenty devices, streaming, gaming, working, and more. Visit DigicelTT.com or any Digicel store today. Digicel Plus, better connected.
Where carnival meets conversation. Talk City 91.1. Any views or opinions expressed on the ground report are solely those of the hosts and callers and do not represent the views, policies, or official position of Talk City 91.1, its management, or affiliates.
This is Destra, and right now you're listening to Talk City 91.1. Keep it locked. Bang, 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 bang.
The Ground Report with Andy Williams and Lennox Smith.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. A pleasant good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. Time check. It's 12 minutes past the hour of 6 o'clock, and you're listening to the Ground Report on Talk City 91.1 FM. Mr. Pleasant good morning to all maxi taxi drivers, PH drivers, bus drivers, truckers. Good morning to you. To all the senior citizens, a pleasant good morning to you. Mr. Pleasant good morning to the physically challenged disabled people, a pleasant good morning to you. And to all of you that are look on to us on social media, Real Media TT on Facebook, Real Media TT on YouTube, Corridor Transformation on YouTube, 648 Television on YouTube, The Ground Report, yes, The Ground Report on YouTube, and not forgetting that Talk City 91.1 FM on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Good morning to each and every one of you. Time check. It's 13 minutes past the hour of 6 o'clock, and you're listening to The Ground Report. Marvin Song's Wasa Alarmed. Yes, Marvin Song Wasa Alarm. Slam government for hiring 426 people in 7 months. But ministers say it's only short-term work.
Sounds Wasser alarm. Slams government for hiring 426 people in 7 months, but minister says it's only short-term work. Ailes has accused the government of embarking on a hiring spree at the Water and Sewerage Authority, WASA, during its first 7 months in office, claiming the move has inflated the authority's annual wage bill by an estimated $60 to $70 million. However, current Minister Barry Padarath has rejected Gonzales' assertions, contending that the information presented is devoid of proper context and misrepresents the circumstances at Wassa. During a People's National Movement, PNM, media briefing at the office of the opposition leader in Port of Spain yesterday, Gonzales disclosed the written response he received from Padarath regarding questions on how many individuals were hired at Wassa between April 29th and November 30th, 2025. Padarath stated that 426 people were hired during the period under review. A breakdown of the recruitment by category shows that approximately 1/4 of those hires were for administrative and clerical positions. Additionally, 67 were employed as non-skilled daily rated workers, while 12 were hired at the executive level. The written response also detailed the salaries attached to each position. These range from $8,013 per month for a staff assistant to $60,000 per month for a director. Gonzales said he worked out the cost to taxpayers. When we did the calculation, the 426 people that were employed as of November last year, it will cost you, the taxpayers of Trinidad and Tobago, upwards of $60 million, Gonzales said. But Gonzales said he has heard that since November, the employment rate has crept upwards. The information that has come to me is that as of December last year, there are over 500 to 600 persons that were employed in the Water and Sewerage Authority, costing you, the taxpayers of this country, over $70 million. Gonzales said he also asked Padarath for the criteria used to hire the 426 people, but that was not provided. They cannot say what was the recruitment criteria, how those persons were employed. Maybe Twiggy, Christine Levier, and Matara French, may know. Maybe Stark Entertainment may know. Come and tell us. Twiggy may bring her bell to ring, and she might tell you, the people of Trinidad and Tobago, what was the recruitment criteria, what was your educational qualification to fill the post. Gonzales pointed to what he described as the irony of the United National Congress government's $60 million hiring exercise, recalling that in May 2025, the Prime Minister famously tore up a document on live television said to be the People's National Movement's Wassa Transformation Plan, a move the government had claimed at the time would have saved the country $30 million. They are now riding the taxpayers' backs of this country with an increased salary tag of over $70 million, he said. The Aruka, Lopanot MP added that he has also heard of a scandal within Wassa that led to what he claimed was the firing of an HR director. He claimed people seeking employment in Wassa had to pay managers between $5,000 minus $10,000 to get the job. However, Padarath has pushed back against the criticism, stating that several individuals were engaged on short-term contracts to address what he described as a significant human resource gap at Wassa. The expenditure that former Minister Gonzales speaks about in terms of the increasing wage bill at Wassa on an annual basis is nothing but a total and blatant lie, Padarath said. What has happened is, usually, there will be short-term employment, and that is what has occurred over the last couple of months to supplement the challenges that we were facing in terms of persons being promoted, as well as new projects coming on stream. We needed to facilitate those and, therefore, we exercised bringing on short-term contract employees, and these are usually for about 3 to 6 months. Padarath said people were hired on a needs basis. The company then evaluates if their projects require the manpower. Most times, persons are hired for that specific period and it comes to an end until new projects come up. Guardian Media asked Padarath what percentage of the 426 hires were short-term appointments. However, he indicated he was in cabinet at the time and would seek the relevant information and provide it at a later date.
Oui, papa. PNM, the opposition asking what is the criteria in hiring people at WASA. Hey, they asked what was the criteria of Twiggy Olivia and qualifications. What was the criteria of stocks? What was the criteria of... Who's the next one there? Ray Papa. What was the criteria for the people that was also hired under his government? Like for instance, what was the criteria for hiring in URP that had to shut down? We hear about a former talk show host and a woman's arm of the PNM. Getting something like about 10,000 a month or so, but not even 7 going to work. Why today now it have nobody, it have no URP because of all of that. What was the criteria in organizing to push up or to renew contracts, CPEP contracts of over 200 and something contractors that would have cost the government about $3 billion? That because of that today too, watch, CPEP gone. Anyhow, government secures cargo badge for inter-island services. Well, remember, we all know that the blue wave hull get damaged. Let's hear what that's about.
As an interim measure while repair work on the MV Blue Wave Harmony continues. Speaking at the Post-Executive Council media briefing yesterday, Augustin said the Port Authority of Trinidad and Tobago has engaged a 67-meter barge for a 10-day period, starting tomorrow, to transport cargo that cannot be carried on the passenger vessels. The barge will move loads over 7,000 kilograms, including dangerous cargo, livestock and bulk items, using an appointment-based booking system, and can accommodate about 30 trucks at a time, he said. Augustin confirmed that final welding works to repair hull damage on the Blue Wave Harmony began on Wednesday and are expected to take 4 full days. He said another inspection will follow, with NIDCO projecting the vessel's return to full service by Wednesday next week. Addressing criticism over the disruption, Augustin said the incident could not have been prevented. There is literally nothing anyone in the Tobago House of Assembly or in the ministry could have done to prevent what happened from happening, he said. I don't know if, as Chief Secretary, I could stop strong winds or stop the sea from misbehaving. Those are not powers I have. He confirmed there are long-term plans to upgrade and expand the Port of Scarborough to improve safety and capacity, but cautioned that even modernized infrastructure would not eliminate all risks. Nothing human beings build will ever be beyond destruction. Certainly, we can't outbuild and outperform nature itself, Augustin said, adding that climate change increases the risk to coastal infrastructure. Opposition MP Marvin Gonzalez, speaking earlier at a People's National Movement media conference, criticized the government's handling of the sea bridge, accusing government officials and critics of silence amid the current disruption. There's a breakdown of the sea bridge in this country. Who's swimming from Tobago to Trinidad now? Where is Farley? Where is my good friend Diane Haddad? Why is the deafening silence? Gonzalez said. He argued that the government has offered little beyond reassurance to Tobagonians affected by the disruption. What we are hearing now are just assurances. Stand by, wait, have patience. That is what Farley Augustin is telling the people, Gonzalez said. Gonzalez claimed the fallout has already had serious economic consequences. The construction sector has ground to a halt in Tobago. Life has come to a standstill, he said. He also called on the government to provide an update on a previously issued request for proposals for a new cargo ferry.
Oh boy. And the Honorable Kamala Prasad Bisesa said no public servants sent home under my government. They're sent home under her government. Oh,
Assured that since her administration assumed office in April last year, no public servants have been dismissed. I have not sent one home, not one, she declared, adding that she did not have the jurisdiction to do so, as that falls under the Public Service Commission, PSC. Instead, she urged the PSC to reward those willing to work and to end the long-standing practice of officers serving in acting positions for years. Some of you should get an Oscar nomination, because you've been acting for so long, she quipped, calling on the PSC to regularize appointments. Speaking at a recognition ceremony for Natasha Barrow's appointment as head of the public service, Prasad Bisesa dismissed claims her government had terminated staff, insisting that 99% of those things are not true. 9 to 10 months ago, April last year, we formed the government, and PS Barrow was there, so I inherited PS Barrow. She was an acting PS, and in those 9 to 10 months, the transition has been so tremendous that I think, together with her staff, her team, you all have supported this government very, very well, Prasad Bisesa indicated. In congratulating Barrow on her appointment, Prasad Bisesa praised her leadership during the transition period and expressed confidence that the public service, under her guidance, would continue to support the government's mandate. The Prime Minister emphasized that modernization of the public service must be anchored in performance management, data-driven decision-making, and continuous training. She said many complaints from citizens stem not from inefficiency alone but from poor customer service. Sometimes the complaints are just common courtesy, the treatment of persons in these offices, she said, urging officers to treat members of the public as they would their own family. She suggested to Barrow that additional training be offered in handling the public, particularly during periods of high demand such as the recent surge at licensing offices. Prasad Bisesa also addressed concerns about confidentiality, stressing that cabinet notes do not leak by accident. She explained that every cabinet decision is forwarded to President Christine Kangaloo in accordance with Section 81 of the Constitution, ensuring that the head of state is kept informed of government business on a weekly basis. This, she added, underscores her administration's commitment to transparency. Reflecting on her vision, Prasad Bisesa called for a modern, professional, and accountable public service supported by technology and improved ICT systems.
And she never lied. Not one public servant was sent home under this her government since assuming government last year, April. Right, besides that, fire services gets 2 new trucks, 6 new trucks. Alright, so these fire services get 6 new trucks. Alright, so those are the headliners. Oh boy, Gonzalez also calls on Alexander to release additional info on police killing. But how is only Gonzal asking everything, so oh boy, well, if he's the
additional info on police killing. Anna Lisa Paul Senior report ND Security Minister Roger Alexander to be transparent with the public and reveal any additional evidence in the police chase and killing of Joshua Samaru if it exists. Responding to Minister Alexander's suggestion on Wednesday that there may be additional information the public isn't privy to, Gonzalez said nothing is stopping the minister from revealing the evidence, nor does he think it will affect the police investigation. Speaking during a People's National Movement media briefing at the office of the opposition leader in Port of Spain yesterday, Gonzalez said, "If you have information that paints a different picture, then show it. It will not undermine the evidence. It will not undermine the administration of justice. It will not undermine the integrity of the investigation. You are playing smart with foolishness and you need to stop it." However, he added, because as long as they refuse to do so, they're undermining the trust and the confidence that the people should have in the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service. During a United National Congress media briefing on Wednesday, Alexander defended police officers, saying they must be allowed to carry out the duties lawfully, adding that social media clips often fail to reflect the full sequence of events. The police is operating in a professional manner. But you know what the social media does. They take out all the front piece where the man was resisting first and then show the part where the police trying to execute on him. Again, we have to be careful. When asked if he was referring specifically to the Samaru case following the media conference, however, Alexander said, "No, I was not." Asked if he had any information that there is evidence being hidden from the public, Gonzalez admitted to having received additional information but said he isn't ready to release it yet. On the call for top cop Alistair Guevara to resign over his handling of the officers involved in the incident, Gonzalez isn't convinced that will solve anything. Gonzalez said, I understand that there are a lot of emotions involved and people are emotionally charged in this matter, and the calls for resignation is not going to get to the matter of this. I think the Commissioner of Police should be careful of the advice he's getting from the Minister of Homeland Security. He is the last person you should be taking advice from because he needs advice for himself.
Wow, so let's go for the needed break. Hope we get things going before the next one come. So we go for the break and come back. When we come back, more
I'm sure. Our President Monitor all has been big.
Lennox, let me go for the break
East,
program
West, South, Central,
let me go for the break program.
all over the place. And then, of course, we go for the break. And when we come back more on this
you're now
edition
talking.
of
Let's
the
go for the
Ground
break
Report.
program.
Yes. Bye-bye.
If you are a migrant currently living in Trinidad and Tobago without legal immigration status, this message is for you. The government of Trinidad and Tobago has introduced a special registration process for migrants who have overstayed or entered the country illegally. The online registration process will begin from Monday 26th of January and end on Wednesday 25th of February 2026. All applicants are first required to register through the official portal at migrantregistration.gov.tt. That's migrantregistration.gov.tt. After completing the online registration, there will be a mandatory in-person processing and verification which begins at the end of February 2026. The start date for that phase will be announced through official government channels. The in-person registration will take place at the Hazley Crawford Stadium, Port of Spain, the Atto Bolden Stadium in Balmain, Couva, and the Larry Gomes Stadium in Malabar, Arima, as well as the Dwight York Stadium, Bacalet, Scarborough, Tobago. Applicants will undergo a comprehensive verification process, which will include vetting by the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service involving fingerprinting and background checks. You will also be required to undergo basic medical screening. Upon completion of the registration process, successful applicants will be required to pay $700 for the migrant registration card. The ministry reminds undocumented migrants your participation in this exercise is essential, as failure to register during this window will result in deportation. This special registration process for migrants is your opportunity to be documented, protected, and allowed to work legally in Trinidad and Tobago for a defined period. For additional instructions, along with online application and required forms, visit the official portal at migrantregistration.gov.tt. That's migrantregistration.gov.tt. This message brought to you by the Ministry of Homeland Security and the Information Division, Office of the Prime Minister.
This Valentine's Day on Talk City 91.1, we're talking about real love.
Not the fairy tales, not the perfect endings, but the love that comes after heartbreak.
Join us for Second Chances, Love After Heartbreak.
If you've loved and lost.
If you've survived divorce.
Or a long relationship.
And somehow found love again. We want to hear your story, because love doesn't always start perfectly, but sometimes the second time means even more.
Call in, share your journey, inspire someone who still believes. Second Chances, Love After Heartbreak.
Only on Talk City 91.1 FM. Real conversations, real life, real love. On Monday 9th to Friday 13th February, join us for Second Chances, Love After Heartbreak.
I carry a water from the moon and back, oh. I change my track, oh, just to see you there.
Hey guys, calling all mass lovers, join them as the magic unfolds for the Junior Kings and Queens preliminaries, Victoria Square, Port of Spain, on Sunday, 8 February from 9 a.m. Watch the masters, mass makers bring their visions to life. King and Queen will parade, all battling for the coveted title Junior King and Queen of Carnival. For more information, visit ttcarnival365.com on or Instagram, or you can call 622-1670. That's 622-1670. This event is proudly presented by the NCC and the TTCBA. Don't miss it.
This is Destra. And right now you're listening to Talk City 91.1. Keep it locked.
Oh boy, we are back. Time check. It's at 35 minutes past the hour of 6 o'clock. And you're listening to the Gong Report. You're truly the pitbull of radio. And Lennox Smith, director's night in studio. Lennox Smith, you have the controls. Go ahead. You let me know when we will take calls and whatever, and when the break coming. Go ahead, my brother.
Yes, indeed. Of course, a pleasant good morning to all on Sundry, East, West, North, South, Central, our friends in Tobago, and wherever you are. Streaming on the World Wide Web, a pleasant good day to you. You raised some very, very important points this morning in terms of the current events. But at the same time, you know, Friday is about looking at issues that we may not have followed during the course of the week. And this presents a perfect opportunity to do in terms of making sure that we make up for lost ground, so to speak. So, of course, the Sea Bridge is one area, and indeed, of course, the press conference of the PNM and the opportunistic nature in terms of attempting to even accuse the government, and in particular, in this case, of course, the Fali administration, of being able to control the weather and nature in general, and therefore unforeseen circumstances occur. But what is important is that the remedy, the amelioration of the situation, and that has come to the fore. We know that a barge is being recruited in order to, or deployed in order to bring heavy items to Tobago as a consequence of the damage of the new cargo ship. But that was as a result, of course, of circumstances beyond anybody's control. And I think Fali did a good job in explaining to the people of Tobago and Trinidad, because it's taxpayers' money we are talking about, that, of course, is the domain of both islands. We are a twin island Republican state. And so I think whilst there may be some temporary suffering in Tobago in terms of food on shelves, in terms of building and construction materials, etc., I think in quick time they would have done a beautiful job in terms of remedying that situation. But I want to say, however, that while this was as a consequence of an act of nature over which no man has control, we saw a situation where the Galicia was deliberately removed from service by the Rowley administration early in its tenure under some specious or questionable circumstance, and replaced by barges that, of course, the people, not only was it not necessary, but was, of course, deployed in such a way that people even lose more. And, of course, the administration, as you know, never admitted that there was, of course, a shortage as a consequence of that action in Tobago, in terms of the same items that today the PNM so glibly and so deceptively are attempting, of course, to accuse the present administration of causing, when in fact it was an act of nature. The difference here is that it's an act of nature as opposed to a man-made crisis that created that situation in Tobago on that occasion, in that administration. I want to make it very, very clear. We have to be discerning, we have to be very, very eclectic, and we have to be very common sense oriented to know that that is pure political opportunism. Whether it be Gonzalez, whether it be Robinson Regis, in terms of calling for the Minister of Housing to resign at this point in time. We know that that is political opportunism. An explanation has already been advanced and preferred with respect, of course, to the position of the titular minister at this time of housing, that has been, of course, resolved, and yet still you are hearing calls for that minister and, of course, the other ministers in that ministry claiming some kind of specious and spurious and amorphous. You can't really put your finger on it, but is only to generate confusion in the minds of the people as they seek to, of course, get unmeritorious traction politically in order to gain power to abuse the people once again. So we know that that is pie in the sky. That is something that will never occur. The lines are open, Andy, and of course we'll take your calls as we continue with today's program. There are other issues.
Well, I see the Honorable Prime Minister is saying no public servants sent home under her government. She said, in fact, that this PS that she inherited her and have been acting since then. She don't know how managed they get no Grammys for all their length of time that have been acting. So what's your thoughts on that? Again, or is the government, is the opposition being mischievous?
Yeah, that clip was very accurate or appropriate for the occasion. I think she did well there in terms of bringing it graphically to the minds of the people. But I also want to remind people that the last administration did say when they were firing public servants that Dr. Rowley will very, very often say that no gazetted public servants was dismissed. But he couldn't do it. As the Prime Minister today has said, she cannot do it. He couldn't do it then. But what he was really making the distinction of was those contracted workers were in fact dismissed. Yes, I'm coming from. So if the Prime Minister, but she has not made a distinction, I don't want to commit myself one way or another, except to say that in the presence of the newly minted PS in the office of the Prime Minister, who of course automatically becomes head of the public service. Once you are the PS in the Prime Minister's office, you are in fact the head of the public service. I want to say congratulations to that person who of course it appears was working since the present administration came into office. She was acting, and now, of course, she's a full-fledged PS and head of the public service.
That's Natasha Barrow. Natasha Barrow.
Yeah. Barrow, that's right. Yes,
yes,
Miss
Natasha.
Barrow. Yes,
Natasha Barrow.
So congratulations to her.
Good morning, good morning, Andy and Lennox. This is Diego Martin opening the bowling. Two issues.
Yes.
And I want to, as an ordinary citizen, congratulate Natasha Barrow for becoming the head of the public service. That is a critical institution office so as to move the agenda of the UNC and the coalition. But more importantly, during that ceremony, this is what a newspaper basically said about the current Honorable Prime Minister addressing confidentiality. And I quote, stressing that cabinet notes do not leak by accident. She explained that every cabinet decision is forwarded to the President Kangaroo. So there is a saying, read the tea leaves. And the tea leaves, basically, it is, you understand, you are giving clues to predict the future. And I say no more, because one of the critical information that was leaked recently was the Zoso bill. The Zoso bill was put out in the public domain before anybody knew about it by Pepper Source and News Source. So that tells us the leaking is controlled by cabinet, but once it's leave cabinet, the leaks continue. We had to get Marva to find out how it leaks. So the other issue, I want to talk about the sea bridge. How many boats KCR and the PNM government spent to fix that? How many money we spent and we have an issue? But you know what really I feel is a non-issue? Is that sea bridge. The next 2 weeks in Trinidad and Tobago is the least productive area. So when people say they're running out of cement and construction, no, partner. The reality is a lot of people wind down particularly for construction during these 2 weeks. So the balling and saying they basically the shelves have no cement and no lumber. But you know what he is saying? The supermarkets full with items because they should the people in Tobago should have anticipated that issue might have arose because the benchmark for the UNC is far greater than that. They're looking for a seamless transition and to fix everything. And I want to warn citizens, it will take time. PNM has damaged this country so bad. We have to understand we have to go through some pain to get better. I'll go and have a nice morning.
Thank you very much. That's the first call. Next caller.
Call. Good morning.
Go ahead, caller.
Morning.
Yes, caller. Go ahead. You are live. Call number 2.
Good morning, Andy. Good morning, Lennox. Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. Andy.
Morning.
Almost things leaking out in the government, just so like that thing in agency. Now with this, with WASA and certain things that's leaking out just so. That is looking good, you know. It's a real people in the UNC trying to undermine this government. All them PNM plan them they hire they. I feel that what they call Turkish. You know, she and the honorable opposition leader real good. Them looking to the friends and the family in the PNM, I see I have an interview with the honorable Senator Anna Roberts. And there's a man that gave forward to you. He asking the hard questions about the jobs and all them kind of things. But I know you will get backlash. You do your work with all fear and favor. I just look to listen. And they have plenty to say and things because Obali Savannah up there, the man who hiring people up there, the man is a whole ring down PNM and only hiring a set of PNM people Obali Savannah up there. And there's a man on the ground, I go out there and fighting. The time I go down and with the 3 months contract they thing in there, I went down by my corporation there. They say in the Syria alone, send on some names. Up to now, I can't get something to do. I was fighting through social development. As I said, I run around thing, like the blacklist me. I ain't getting opportunities. I ain't getting nothing. And as a man, fight and toil. I feel hurt because I see people who fight and toil like me getting a little work. I'm glad for everybody, you know. But I make sure I see about the ground troops and them too. Must good morning to Lennox. Or they keep up the good work. And they do your work with all fear and favor and talk for the ground and the poor and needy on the ground. Because people who fight and toil and pull government, they're not getting opportunities. So I look to understand, and I'm not bad.
Thank you very much. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. And asking the hard questions, and the Honorable Minister answered them. Without fear or favor too. Come on, let's continue. Trinidad and Tobago, the lines are open here. You have your say right here on the Gong Report.
But insofar as temporary employment is concerned, and of course, when it is coming to carnival and anything surrounding that, clearly it is temporary, it is seasonal in commercial terms. But we just heard that $5 million was allocated for temporary work for cleaning, to recruit cleaners to treat with the carnival mess that would literally be part and parcel of the process. So let's see. I hope that he gets an opportunity because quite a lot of money is being spent there for that purpose, simply because and I'm sure it's a response to the Port of Spain Corporation in particular, or those corporations that are saying that they don't have money for that. And they have, of course, been curtailing their activities, including that of the San Fernando, I think, mayor. He had his press conference yesterday and explaining why it is, even though, of course, the minister said something to the contrary, in terms of explanation. She said very, very simply that, listen, the budget normally will be around $7,000. When the announcement was made by the mayor that they may curtail certain activities, it is clear that you don't need the $700,000, and what transpired, having done an estimation, they were provided with $500,000. Very simple. Of course, the mayor has a different view.
Nice. I want to try it, and then I want to hear Snipes, because I believe he's more professional when it comes to this aspect than me. He have that voice, boy. I have a kind of hoarse voice, doggy voice. If Radio Valentine's special, yes, Trinidad and Tobago, Radio Valentine's special, second chances, how love after heartbreak. Lennox Smith, have you ever found love after heartbreak? Well, let's continue. If you have survived heartbreak and somehow found love again, we want to hear your story. Lennox Smith, I will want to hear your story. Tell us how you found new love after loss or headaches. After the loss or headaches. When beautiful prices every day, starting Monday the 9th of February to Friday the 13th of February, right here on Talk City 91.1 FM. Let me hear you now, Dave. Director Snipes, let me hear you. Go ahead.
So to the people who intend to enter, who can enter, you must tell us about how you found love again after divorce, if you've experienced major heartbreaks or separation, if you've been widowed and later you open back up your heart and you found love again, those are the stories that we're looking for. So listeners can call during designated program segments right here on Talk City. The time will be at 7:35 a.m. So you have a chance to call right here inside the ground report. You have a chance to call again inside with Stefan and of course Mr. X at 9:35, and it's going to go down throughout the day: 10:35, 11:35, 2:35, 3:35, 4:35, and 5:35. So for the entire day, you have a chance to give your story. All right.
And that starts here, say from Monday, please God.
From Monday, please God. Each caller would be given 1 to 2 minutes to tell their story live on air. So just some guidelines. You must speak honestly and respectfully. You're not allowed to bash, attack, or insult your partner before. Because some people would have bad
because they will have some delayed.
Yes, some people would have bad
emotional hang-ups.
So avoid explicit or offensive language. Yeah. While telling that story. And of course, you just come across and share with us. We're looking for those Valentine stories right here.
Whilst you were making your intro, you did, of course, make reference to me. Well, I want to say that I would not qualify.
I was coming in and saying when we go started today on this program to ask Lennox how he find back love after he had that woman with a cutlass running he down all over the place. He in the boxer shorts.
You have to save that for Monday.
No. I want to say no. I will never be qualified because it was a blessing. A blessing. yes. So I would be qualified.
So in terms of Valentine's, we have our promotion coming up.
Yes. So
this is definitely about finding love again.
Yes. Of course, in such circumstance, even though it was a blessing, I want to say, of course, I would have found love again. So from that perspective, so I'm halfway qualified. Right, I'm halfway qualified. But in terms of getting rid of, well, boy, it was a blessing.
What about you, Andy? Have you ever been in a situation where you You
But
found love again.
I married about 20 something years, about 27 years now, 26 years. Yeah. A while. So I ain't get a heartbreak and all that kind of bacchanal thing. And all that.
You must every man to cross a certain stage, to have a certain amount of wisdom, must have passed through some heartbreak.
Yeah, but that school days, not school days, but that is like very early in my life. Yeah, very, very early in my life.
No, I'm quite aware that you never forget that first heartbreak.
Yeah. Early in my life, boy. I used to come up. I used to go by the in Tong. That time I was working casino.
Save it. Don't give them.
All right,
save it. So Lennox is Monday. You will give your story on Tuesday, and I will give my story on Wednesday.
And then what about the callers now?
It was a blessing.
Well,
a blessing.
We will definitely take
Squeeze
the
them
callers,
in.
of course.
So
Yes.
Monday
We're not gonna
will
squeeze
be
them in. We actually have a designated time for them.
right. All right. Yeah.
Which is 7:35 a.m. So at 7:35 a.m. we take a break.
Begin that process.
Yeah, and
Okay.
begin that
All right.
process.
Okay.
Oh,
All right. But for me, it was a blessing. A blessing.
Guys,
I wait on Monday and then I will give my decision. Well, not my decision, but certainly my.
But Director Snipes, you know why he keeps singing? You know why? Director Snipes, you know why he keeps singing is a blessing? Partner, I telling you, I are wrong, Mikey are wrong. We in Tobago, boy. I started here, pass up. And we look, me and we seeing this little short fella in our boxers running around the building, boy. And a woman with a chopper. Well, like I don't know, she want to chop up, boy.
It was a blessing.
We go for a break, Trinidad.
Yes, indeed. And when we come back more on this edition of the Ground Report,
Countable stories. History in motion. Juve, the birth of the road.
Before sunrise on Carnival Monday, Trinidad awakens to Juve, the opening of the road. Its roots lie in Canboulay, when the formerly enslaved reclaimed the streets at night with drums, mud, oil, paint and powder, marking bodies that once bore chains. Juve was raw, unpolished, unapologetic. No costumes, no barriers, just people, rhythm, and release. Today's mud and powder carry the same message. Freedom is not performed for an audience. It is lived in the streets before dawn.
Carnival stories. History in motion. Carnival stories on Talk City 91.1 FM.
Your stories, your communities, your country. TTT News is everywhere, on the ground, across Trinidad and Tobago, and on every smart device. When it matters, we're there, reporting the news as it happens. Because your world can't wait. Your world moves fast, so do we. TTT News brings you the people, events, and issues that matter most. Stay informed, stay ahead. TTT News, every night at 7. TTT News, committed, accurate, relevant.
This Valentine's season, Talk City 91.1 FM celebrates second chances at love. Were you divorced, heartbroken, widowed, and thought love was over until it found you again? Share your story on air in just 1 or 2 minutes. Tell us how you healed, how long it took, and how love returned. Respectfully, honestly, and from the heart. Daily winners will be selected with a grand prize winner announced on Friday, February 13th. Second chances, love after heartbreak. Only on Talk City 91.1.
I dey carry your water from the moon and back, oh. I dey change my track, oh, just to see you there.
This is the flagship. Real talk, real issues, real radio. Wake up to the issues that matter most on the Ground Report. Join Andy Williams and Lennox Smith every morning from 6 to 9 a.m. for real talk, real analysis, and real perspectives on the stories shaping our nation. News, current affairs, and voices from the ground, unfiltered and unapologetic. That's the Ground Report. Weekday mornings on Talk City 91.1, where the conversation begins. Hard questions, honest answers, real conversations from the ground up. If you want to know what's really happening, don't miss the Ground Report. Weekday mornings on Talk City 91.1.
Good morning. This is your TCT News Update. I'm Carrie Roberts. Making the news at this time. Government's rollout for the national program for the upkeep of public spaces with specific focus on Carnival will cost just over $5.3 million. This was revealed by Minister of Rural Development and Local Government, Khadija Amin, as she defended the short-term expansion of the public spaces program. The initiative, which adds 86 teams with a total of over 1,000 workers for 4 weeks, sees these short-term employees deployed across all 14 regional corporations to prepare and clean up public spaces.
The special project for Carnival is a 1 month that Cabinet has already approved, and I'll tell you the value of it is $5.36 million. And that amount is to pay the workers that we have taken, where we have 86 teams of persons for 4 weeks. So it's a fixed number of workers for a fixed number of days. And at the end of our pilot project, our initial pilot project in March, we will gather the data, the recommendations from the various municipalities, as well as our stakeholders, because our unions, for instance, have been part of our conversation, and therefore we will have those recommendations for Cabinet.
The minister justified the program, noting that short-term hiring during the season has always existed.
All of them would usually hire short-term employees, as well as additional services such as trucks to pick up garbage and so on. So they usually have a Carnival program. So the hiring of short-term employees for Carnival is nothing new. This time, though, the ministry is hiring the workers and sending them to the corporation. So it's a savings for the corporation, so they don't have to go through that expense, but it also saves them on overtime for their existing workers.
Tobago is mourning the loss of a sixth form student who collapsed while playing in a basketball match. Chief Secretary Father Augustine confirmed the incident during Thursday's post-executive media briefing.
The Tobago House of Assembly wishes to extend condolences to the family of Michael Okubosa of Scarborough Secondary School, a 6B student who collapsed at a basketball game today versus Bishop's High School. That game was being held at the Montgomery ground. He was taken to hospital. He had no known medical conditions prior. CPR was actually done trying to revive him, but unfortunately, he passed away.
Mr. Augustine called on Tobagonians to pray for the family and students, adding that the Tobago House of Assembly will provide the relevant support.
Certainly, the Division of Education will provide all the necessary student support services to the family, to the classmates, to the teachers. We'll ensure the necessary counseling and treating with the trauma is done.
On Thursday, the Minister of Sport and Youth Affairs, Philip Watts, welcomed Trinidad and Tobago sibling cyclists Tennille Campbell and Akil Campbell during a courtesy visit to his office. Minister Watts held engaging discussions with the athletes, commending their passion, dedication, and continued excellence in cycling. The Campbell siblings are set to represent Trinidad and Tobago at the Elite Pan American Track Championships, scheduled for February 16th to the 22nd in Santiago, Chile. Minister Watts extended his best wishes to both athletes as they prepare to represent Trinidad and Tobago on the international stage. And that was your TTT News Update. I'm Carrie Roberts. After the break, we return to Trinidad and Tobago today.
That was TTT News on Talk City 91.1 FM.
These are not just stories, they are the echoes of who we are, passed down in voices, in silence, and in memory. From the heart of the Caribbean, where history, mystery, and magic meet, this is Echoes of Our Folklore. Echoes of Our Folklore. Your weekly journey into the legends, stories, and whispers of our islands. Brought to you by Talk City 91.1 FM. The Moko Jambi is one of the most iconic figures in Trinidad and Tobago's folklore, especially during Carnival. Standing tall on towering stilts, the Moko Jambi rises above the crowd, watching over the community as a symbol of protection and spiritual strength. Its roots reach back to African spiritual traditions, where the Moko Jambi was believed to be a guardian spirit, a warning presence against danger and misfortune. Today, that legacy lives on through Carnival, as Moko Jambis move gracefully through the streets in colorful, elaborate costumes, representing resilience, pride, and cultural heritage. More than spectacle, the Moko Jambi traditionally engages with the crowd, collecting coins and strengthening the bands of community that define the season. In folklore, the Moko Jambi also stands as a defense against malevolent spirits. Jambis such as the Dwen, Lagahu, and Sukuya. Alongside this guardian figure, protective customs like placing salt, garlic, or rice at doorways, wearing silver jewelry, and displacing spiritual symbols have long been practiced. Together, these traditions remind us that Carnival is not just celebration, it is living history. Another tale from our islands, reminding us that the past, the spirits, and the stories of our ancestors are never far away. You've been listening to Echoes of Our Folklore. Echoes of Our Folklore. Only on Talk City 91.1 FM.
TTT News, every night at 7. TTT News, committed, accurate, relevant.
Every morning begins with a story. The headlines you need. The voices you trust. The conversations shaping our nation. Welcome to Trinidad and Tobago Today, where your day starts informed and inspired. News that matters to you. Conversations that spark new ideas. Stories that move Trinidad and Tobago forward. Tune in weekdays, Monday to Friday at 6 a.m. or join the conversation on any smart device at TNT Today Show. Trinidad and Tobago Today. Start here, exclusively on TTT. This Valentine's Day on Talk City 91.1, we're talking about real love.
Not the fairy tales, not the perfect endings, but the love that comes after heartbreak.
Join us for Second Chances, Love After Heartbreak.
If you've loved and lost.
If you've survived divorce.
Or a long relationship.
And somehow found love again. We want to hear your story, because love doesn't always start perfectly, but sometimes the second time means even more.
Call in, share your journey, inspire someone who still believes. Second Chances, Love After Heartbreak.
Only on Talk City 91.1 FM. Real conversations, real life, real love. On Monday 9th to Friday 13th February, join us for Second Chances, Love After Heartbreak.
I carry a water from the moon and back, oh. I change my track, oh, just to see you there.
Don't let the flu season slow you down. As Carnival approaches, the Ministry of Health is urging the public to take action now. Influenza can cause severe illness, hospitalization, and even death, especially in older adults, children, pregnant women, and persons with chronic conditions. But vaccination can help reduce severe illness. Crowded events, late nights, and close contact can increase the risk of spreading the virus. Don't wait until you're sick. Get vaccinated today. Influenza vaccine is available free at all health centers and vaccination sites nationwide. Visit the ministry's social media pages for more information. Protect yourself, protect others, get your flu shot today. A message from the Ministry of Health.
From Canberra to Carnival, this is Talk City 91.1. Any views or opinions expressed on the Ground Report are solely those of the hosts and callers and do not represent the views, policies, or official position of Talk City 91.1, its management, or affiliates.
This is Destra. Right now you're listening to Talk City 91.1. Keep it locked.
The Ground Report with Andy Williams and Lennox Smith.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Thanks very much, Director Snipes. We are back, we are back, we are back. Shockingly, eh? Now let's continue to get on to business. So don't forget Monday morning, from Monday morning, please God. Yes, yes. The Valentine's of Love. That's how I'll put it down. Where I will start it off on Monday, Lennox will be Tuesday, Mr. Snipes will be Wednesday. But you all have your spot from Monday at 7:30 or 7:35 a.m. Around 7:30, 7:35 a.m. Okay? To tell about your heartbreak and how you recovered from it. That's good, that's good. Let me hear some more here. If some more even recover. You know? Let's go to some of those voice notes. Very quick, very, very quick. You know, let's just jump into some of those voice notes. Very, very quick. Well, let's try to make it short and sweet, especially nobody voice notes is be very, very nice, I wouldn't lie. But try to keep it lay short.
Morning, nobody here. Going back to yesterday's program, I'll repeat it. Ideas rule mankind. I will add something too. Great minds discuss ideas, average minds discuss issues, small minds discuss people. I was offering a solution and trying to assess what is wrong with our current system regarding communication, because that was the issue yesterday. Why are the people not communicated with properly? And my humble suggestion is the parliament is not properly representative of the people. And I've always said for a long time that proportional representation, where many different groups are represented in the parliament rather than just two mega parties that everybody is forced to attach themselves to. And of course I was attacked. I was called a PNM. So right there, the ideas were destroyed because people wanted to attack the person. You know, they say, don't attack the messenger. Look at the message. And for those who are happy with seeing the current system continue because their party is in power, well, guess what? Nobody has been talking proportional representation for over 20 years. And in those 20 years, parties have changed. If you think your party will remain there forever, certainly the last 10 years wasn't the case. My humble suggestion is your party, as it's in power now, should try to fix the system we have here now so that you would have better communication and a better representation of the people in the parliament. And I firmly believe this party can do it because this party is in fact something of a coalition, so we should understand the concept. I've also always said that politics is really about ideologies and interests and how those interests interact with each other. And it is the job of a politician, unfortunately, usually, to make politics for you about love and hate. I love my party, I hate my party. And what I'm hearing increasingly, and I've said it before again, I'm hearing this hatred. And all you have to do is refer to somebody as a PNM, and automatically that person deserves no voice. There are 1,100,000-ish electors in this country. PNM, UNC get 300,000-ish each. There's at least 300,000 people out there, and it's more, who don't vote either way. When PNM or UNC wins a general election, they only win really about a third of the vote. So where are the voices of the rest of the people in the parliament? And vice versa, in the case of the PNM. That is what I'm talking about, fixing that. And when it comes to communication, you have two choices. You either are talked to by a king, issuing edicts, or you are allowed to speak with a government by the people, of the people, and for the people.
Oh boy, nobody agree with you, you know. I honestly agree with you a lot with many of the things you're saying there. I agree with you. All right, but let me just read online some of the some of those quick comments. Here the quick. Joyce Ram is saying, caller, try to come. Nobody they're saying, try to communicate with your MP and councillor. You will know what going on. All right. Noah Simmons is saying, next caller. Just School is saying, like nobody eat parrot for breakfast. Abigail is saying, Mr. Nobody, I want to believe, you don't need to go to Parliament to discuss laws, ideas, and I'm about to believe it might be and ideas. All right, Premier the same PNM destroy Sweet TNT for 10 years. Jen Monroe is saying thanks to the UNC experience at the Savannah, like she went in the Savannah. She said it was a great vision. Right, the UNC government could do that. Thanks again. Just School is saying nobody, just Horner. Oh boy, who say nobody is a real waste. Yes, only repeating. Well, nobody really stated that, and he will be shut down. He knows that. Or if it go, but let me be real, Trinidad and Tobago. We need some sort of proportional representation in Trinidad and Tobago. Even if not that, because we all agree that our constitution need a rehaul. This constitution of Trinidad and Tobago, especially having to go through this constitution within the 10 years that Dr. Rowley was at the helm, and we all see he's the king. He could move a president, put one. He could do this. All independence institutions was totally controlled by Dr. Rowley and the PNM. So we have to agree, at least, and this program is about dedicating to some of the things that nobody is saying. Because on many occasions, I hear some Ole telling him, Hall, agreeing that the constitution need an overhaul. Lennox Smith, what's your thoughts on that? Do you believe Trinidad and Tobago constitution needs an overhaul, especially experiencing that almost 10 years, or I will say 10 years of the Dr. Keith Christopher Rowley administration? What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I believe that the presidency should be an elected position rather than, of course, this make believe, but dominated by the existing ruling party, or the party that is in office, because they gained the majority in the lower house. So yes, and with respect, of course, to Mr. Nobody, I think that people would see him as ideologically, monofocus at this point in time, because I have always said that whilst that is what I consider to be futuristic or ideal, for want of a better term, the fact of the matter is that we have a Westminster system that we must grapple with, because that is the existential scenario in which Trinidad and Tobago exists politically, economically, and therefore we have to find ways and means to work with that until we reach that level. Remember, we have a major party of which he regularly refers that is stridently and opposed to any kind of representation of the type that he is suggesting in terms of the changing of the political scenario or the governance structure in Trinidad and Tobago. Of course, I'm talking about proportional representation, because they said that is the bane, that will kill them. And we know why, because they believe that winner take all, and winner take all, meaning that they really go there, and as we have said over and over, they have morphed into an enterprise. I don't want to say criminal enterprise, but an enterprise that is inimical to the interests of Trinidad and Tobago, simply because of their ideological stance that when they get into government, they take everything, do everything, and no one should question it.
And that's everything.
Even at the level of corruption and nepotism. We have seen that, of course, with so many instances, including, of course, the recusal scenario in the cabinet of the country that that was par for the course.
So true, so true. Oh boy, well, Just School is saying nobody, government don't have enough seats. Right here on YouTube, he's saying, Just School is saying, government don't have enough seats to make major changes. I know, again, Simmons. This is a new chapter, very interesting. That next one I will call out his name too. Seen where he's a big-minded person, a very challenging person. He's saying constitution will never change. Ministers will never get locked up for thieving money. All at them thieving. Oh boy, I tell you, this fella look like a challenge. But again, it's his opinion and we welcome him to the ground report. Because again, that's the opinion of many people out there. It is what it is. And we can't vex with him. Because it is the opinion that politicians, because it's my opinion, politicians don't get locked up. The people are telling you. My opinion is politicians and big boys. Yeah. Some say money, you don't make jail.
Yeah. But I want to go back to I want to go back to a previous caller, a previous reference that you made of a blog that might have been on the system, where the present configuration, for example, provides the perfect storm for the inability to generate any change. Because even if the present government, even though it has an overwhelming majority in the lower house, we have seen recently what has happened because there is, let's say, a construct of the PNM last in the presidency, and you need those independent votes in order to effect some change to the constitution. So we have to wait until 2028 when that person is out, and then of course the present government can get someone. I'm not saying that automatically
Lennox,
that person will be in support. Listen. I'll very, very meticulous here.
All right.
That I'm not saying that the person that they choose to be the next president will be biased to them. What I'm simply saying is that there's a greater chance having regard to what is there now.
All right. And my thoughts on what Lennox is saying there is, again, it's really the same. It's just that the Kamala Prasad government, the UNC government, would not be so bold-faced like Dr. Rowley to pick up certain politician and all those various things. But it boils down to the same thing, where the Electoral College and who have more, which is whoever is the present government, will be picking a president, and most likely at all occasions, that president will be in the favor of the certain government that picked them. It is what it is.
All right, Andy, but then you have to explain to me that Robinson was picked by a UNC government.
Robinson was total feelings.
And what transpired?
Robinson was total.
All right. I'm just telling you, that is why I conditioned my approach to this as far as the UNC is concerned, that they will choose people, as you rightly recognize, that is fiercely independent and will, of course, do what is expected of them in that constitutionally created position.
Right. And no matter how we as Trimbagonians try to dress it up, the only dressing that I accept to that cut, besides taking stitches, is that at least we have our honorable Prime Minister, the Honorable Kamala Prasad Bisesa. One day she would not be with us. We might end up getting a more mad man or a more mad woman than Rowley. So that constitution and picking up a president, no matter what or who, have to change. Have to. Because whoever there and whoever pick the president, that president will be loyal to them. And they will pick independent senators that will be loyal to them, which is loyal to the president. The president was picked, let me say like this one was picked by Dr. Keith Christopher Rowley and them. She's loyal to the PNM. She now picks independent senators that is loyal to her, which is PNM. And it goes vice versa on both sides. Again, the
But
only...
there is a variable.
There's no variable thing.
An anomaly. There is an anomaly. There is an anomaly where, as we agreed, there will be people more independent in the presidency under the UNC administration or PIC, right, when they are in office. What we are sure about is that the PNM will never conform to constitutional change as prescribed, whether it be by Mr. Nobody or otherwise, because they have said that in no uncertain terms. So therefore, to reach that stage of reform, you have to have, no matter how you dress it up or how you look at it, you must have a UNC-led administration in office.
And no matter how you talk, you're a very bright fella, degree in criminology, no matter how you put it, the only anomaly to that is Kamala Prasad says that decent, nice lady is alive. That's the only anomaly. That is the only anomaly. Other than that, that creature is the same for all political parties. That is the only anomaly. So you can dress it how you want.
There is precedent, you know. Pandey did that, and you saw what happened. So the point I am making is very simple. Yeah. That the likelihood of a change of the constitution rests with only the UNC being in office and having the requisite majority.
That is truth. I will agree with you on that one. So Trinidad and Tobago, again, the lines are open. Yes, the numbers are called. You know the numbers. Let's say what's on your mind, what's on your front burner. Thank God the Honorable Kamala Prasad is alive. Thank God she's an honorable woman. But oh boy, I hope that she gets to make those constitutional changes that we need before some mad man or some mad woman take the hem again. I really hope that happens.
Of course, I am interpreting that you mean whether in the UNC or in the PNM.
So you telling me the only mad
because
people...
Because personality it boils down to. No, I am agreeing with you. Because while of course you cannot predict, you know, human behavior and who will be at the helm and so obsessed with power that of course they become what the PNM has demonstrated over the years.
You know what it is? So you know how you go feel, Lennox, or I go feel. The next madder person than Rowley end up a UNC person, after Kamala Prasad
that to me is the ultimate in betrayal for people like me, who of course have to choose one from the other, and have choose the greater good, and then that greater good turns out to be worse than that which I jump from. So it's like jumping from the pot into the fire.
So my honorable lady, the honorable Prime Minister of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, your honorable nice lady, anti-cams of all of us on East-West Corridor, they call you. Please see what you can do while your eyes are open when it's coming to as much constitutional reform as possible, because we are sure about you and you would not advantage the people, or you always most times go with the laws of Trinidad and Tobago. We don't know what quack we might end up getting in the UNC that might be more mad than Rowley, more mad than Kangaloo. Oh God, boy, you know we bunks up people.
Yes, indeed, yes. Power intoxicates and makes men giddy, and power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely.
I hear Snipes laugh.
We are very conscious.
I hear Director Snipes laugh. So before we take this call, why did you laugh on that issue there, Director Snipes? Am I making sense, or is it, or what? What thoughts go through your mind? What thought went through your mind?
I thought that for the very first time in a long time, I've heard a presenter be very, very real with the party that you support. A lot of times people toe the line, unconditionally toe the line, without saying things like some of the things you and Lennox would express. For example, you know what you have, you don't know what you're going to get. And for a very, very long time, I haven't heard anyone belonging to any party say something like that. You know, when Lennox highlighted that absolute power corrupts, absolutely, it took me back to my college days.
I think coming from Snipes is a credit to us. Right?
Yes, definitely. The more I sit here, is the more I see things from a different perspective. You know, guys, a lot of people may be listening who do not support, and they listen from a point of view, and they don't really listen for the information. They listen with some hate and some vengeance. And if you just take the time to really listen to the way this show is presented, and a lot of shows on this frequency is presented, a lot of people would learn a lot.
So truth, man.
Fantastic.
So
Fantastic.
Truth. So truth. And Trinidad and Tobago, see, as we say, we always told you all the Ground Report program, don't matter what party we support, we will always stand on truth and look to guide the country, guide the government in the right way. We can't wait for a train to come off the track or see that a train going and come off the track as people see Dr. Rowley and his government and his supporters and them see the train off the track, going over the cliff, go on over the cliff and still, while going and die. No.
Yeah.
Mass suicide.
Yeah.
Mass suicide. Like the fella in Guyana.
Guys, we have to
go. We are not preempted this beautiful conversation, but people have it is getting lukewarm, and when we come back, it will get hotter in here.
It's Friday.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
This Valentine's season, Talk City 91.1 FM celebrates second chances at love. Were you divorced, heartbroken, widowed, and thought love was over until it found you again? Share your story on air in just 1 or 2 minutes. Tell us how you healed, how long it took, and how love returned. Respectfully, honestly, and from the heart. Daily winners will be selected with a grand prize winner announced on Friday, February 13th. Second chances, love after heartbreak. Only on Talk City 91.1.
I dey carry your water from the moon and back, oh. I dey change my track, oh, just to see you there.
After Carnival, TNT, the show you all been waiting for. Laugh till your belly busts. In partnership with Talk City 91.1 FM and TTT Limited, 28th of February at Napa, Port of Spain. Showtime, 8 p.m. sharp. Come see the funniest guys on the planet and the man who took social media by storm, Victor St. Louis, a.k.a. Pelp.
Yeah, nah, things so hard right now in Trinidad. You know a store in town, no fire, 2 mannequin.
All his funny friends, Kenneth Sipasa, the greatest storytime teller ever, Shaquille, Louis Spider-Man Antoine, Andrew Friday, The Saint.
Okay, me no first it's so expensive. I went and priced a plate there. They're telling me $10,000 for a plate. I say, oh, there are no sauces.
And Paniska is back.
Stop it, honey. Don't bring out the dog in me, you know. I better scrape you.
Get those tickets now. Ronnie and Caro, Mascap, Maraval Road, Port of Spain, Bruce Bar, St. Augustine, and islandetickets.com. For ticket hotlines, call 278-5892, 316-0814, 382-9986. Laugh till your belly busts.
Talk City 91.1. Thought-provoking conversations, bold perspectives, voices you trust. Listen on 91.1 FM and connect on Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok. New shows, new features, big giveaways. Talk City 91.1. Your city, your voice.
Your stories, your communities, your country. TTT News is everywhere, on the ground, across Trinidad and Tobago, and on every smart device. When it matters, we're there, reporting the news as it happens. Because your world can't wait. Your world moves fast, so do we. TTT News brings you the people, events, and issues that matter most. Stay informed, stay ahead. TTT News, every night at 7. TTT News, committed, accurate, relevant.
Where Carnival meets conversation. Talk City 91.1. to the issues that matter most on the Ground Report. Join Andy Williams and Lennox Smith every morning from 6 to 9 a.m. for real talk, real analysis, and real perspectives on the stories shaping our nation. News, current affairs, and voices from the ground, unfiltered and unapologetic. That's the Ground Report. Weekday mornings on Talk City 91.1, where the conversation begins.
This is Destra. And right now you're listening to Talk City 91.1. Keep it loud. Bang, bang, bang. Bang, 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 bang.
The Ground Report with Andy Williams and Lennox Smith.
Nice, we are back. I like the flow, man. Or let's see iron all cut down on promos. Yes, whether it be commercial, whether it be, if it's money. It's like, oh, we have some money ads there, oh God, man. Yes, we need money. The government need money. TTT need money. Talk City need money. Now we talking. Yeah, let me play this voice note here. And all right, let me take this call. Go ahead, caller. Make it short and sweet because very interesting voice note there. Person say highlight. Go ahead, caller. Morning.
Yeah, good morning, Mr. Lennox Smith and Andy.
Nice. Good morning to you, sir. And where are you calling from?
Tobago in the house.
Oh, Tobago in the house. Go ahead, Tobago.
Lennox City, right? You were talking about the president and the pen senators. What I'm saying, the UNC will choose somebody who close to them, same way. And the president go there, they choose same, might be same. UNC senators they choose in. So as the people say, it be vice versa.
Correct. So
vice versa. Yep. It'll be in a different ship right now, but it'll be vice versa. Everybody choose them people, but if I go there, I choose my choice.
Correct.
To be honest, I choose my people and them. Yeah, that was this morning. Thank you very much.
Right, but the only thing, Tobago, as I told Lennox Smith, is that at least at this point, we have somebody that mind good, which is the Honorable Kamala Prasad Bisesa.
Yes,
but she wouldn't.
Yes.
So she wouldn't last forever.
Yes.
But we need to deal with that before she decides to retire and somebody else take the reign. Whoever government, which I want to believe our UNC government will win back the next election.
Yes.
And we don't know, people is getting amnesia, people is go mad.
And they will have on point.
Yeah.
You're on point.
But before I go, caller, quickly, if we consider both parties to be evil, right? Which would you consider to be the lesser of the evil as a party beyond the personality? Which one? Because the PNM has said categorically they want no change to the system, whereas, of course, you see that the UNC is prepared, of course, to make the necessary adjustments in order to have greater accountability and avoid dictatorship or autocratic rule in this country.
Yes, I agree.
Which one would you
change? Yes, I buy a UNC change system. But I feel like when people on the opposition side, they don't want to change at all. They can't party politics again there.
On both sides?
But what is
I asked you to choose one. I asked you to choose the lesser of the evil.
What is asking? Which one you find is the lesser of the two evils between UNC and PNM? That's what you asking.
That's
well, you ask questions, honestly speaking. You ask questions. Am I upset with that?
All right, so which one you will say? But I don't know why you saying UNC evil. Why, Lennox Smith, why you saying UNC evil? You say, which one of the two evils? That way I ask you,
No, I'm being hypothetical. I'm saying if you're assuming that they are both parties are evil, then which he will consider to be the lesser of the evil. It's very, very
Tobago, which one is the less evil out of the two political parties?
Yeah. Oh, the less evil, by the way. Am I saying UNC?
All right, UNC is less evil.
Beautiful. And it's fair because anybody hearing that, it's almost a loaded question because it's obvious and therefore it goes without saying. Thank you very much, Tobago.
Well, right now, somebody in the maxis and the taxis and PS vehicles, I must say a pleasant good morning to all my drivers and them in Trinidad and Tobago. Whether you're a private driver in your own car heading to work or you're traveling, a pleasant good morning to you all my drivers. Lennox, you know, right now when one of my driver's vehicle, it have somebody will be saying, all two of them evil. We'll tell them about which one less evil or more evil. You're going to have people saying, all too evil. And it will have the PNM people will be saying, the UNC more evil than the PNM. How you will counteract that, Lennox Smith? So give me a question to counteract that. Because obviously...
It's very simple. I mean, to counteract that, I did it for the purposes for compendiousness and so on, and for convenience. But I can ask the question: which government in office has been focused on the people and the poor and downtrodden, comparatively speaking?
Right. And I must say
the answer is clear.
Which means which government is more people's oriented between the PNM and the UNC. And we the people can't lie. I had to talk the truth whether I hit my government or the UNC or not. The UNC is really more people-oriented government. I don't know if it's because they're born out of labor. You know, I don't know if it's because they're born out of labor, but they are more a people-oriented government. It is what it is.
Yeah, they make the effort and they demonstrate that. You see, it is better for you to demonstrate rather than ask people to do things. So that when Basio Pandey introduced, of course, the one man, one vote inside of the party. I thought that was a tremendous tremendous demonstration of democracy and the need for democratization of the party, which is reflected, of course, in the national scenario where you have one man, one vote in any national or local election in this country.
Nice. So, gentlemen, let's go to the voice notes. Right? We know that some of you out there agree with some of the things that are being said. I know some of you disagree with some of the things that are being said. But we all have to organize and take our own stand. Let our common sense prevail. Weigh out our pros and cons. And be real with ourselves and make our decisions accordingly. Okay, Trinidad and Tobago? I know there are people that don't agree with me, there are people that do agree with me, but at the end of the day, look at whoever is the greater good. Or where think make more sense and what ain't make more sense. Let's get to this lines here. Yesterday, the conversation we had was that the UNC government need to find more ways and means to get their message out, right? And I like this voice note here. Listen, only listen. And then I just want to say something small on it.
Pleasant good morning, Ground Report and the TNT. And the concern in this situation with information being put out. Yes, I agree. And even Stephen Rees had made a call that we should have a spokesperson to bring the information, to clarify the information towards the public concerning matters, concerning leak information and stuff like that. And I personally believe it ought to be not a minister. This person should be someone working within the government, but not somebody that is holding a ministerial position, right? This person has to be well-spoken. This person has to be humble, tolerant to deal with these propagandas, right? But Andy, let me just explain something concerning the information that is being put outside there. You have to remember, when this government was in opposition, all these people who want clarifications now, did they visit any of the town meetings? They bashed the Monday night forum. So, you understand, every Monday night the UNC had a UNC Monday night forums, right? They hold numerous consultations, but I visit on different topics, on crime, on TNT. How much of these people actually went to actually listen to debate? Oh, we had to get the people on the ground and their views on it. But this is what the UNC was doing before the elections. Now that they are in government, it is my view, they do not need the groundwork because they have already done the groundwork, Andy. But I agree with the call that they ought, just like how they have a spokesperson for the White House, they need someone desperately. And I will My number one nomination for that position would be Mr. Lennox. Thank you.
I agree, but I disagree based on he's a politician. So you go good. So let me just think on the voice note. I agree, someone that is non-political to be a spokesperson, which everybody will be political, but somebody that is not recognized that people could think to. I listened to the program with Mr. X and Mr. Stefan, my colleagues and them, with Off the Record, on that, and they were saying that someone that they can look at and a center lean on them in that aspect, which is Nicole Dyer. Very professional. Someone that could touch, or you could say, could link with most people. But in Trinidad and Tobago, because of who is her husband, people might tend to shut down that. But all in all, I was looking at that, and in one way you come good, or in next way you kind of shooting yourself in the foot because you talk about the UNC Monday night forums and all those various things while in opposition and all those things. Yes, they give all the information and all those various things, but maybe mainstream media was overshadowing that. Mainstream media was overshadowing that. You have to remember. All right, you will go and you will look onto a political party station or whoever and take in what they have to say, whoever, because you like the party. It's not like that in Trinidad and Tobago. So we have to find ways and means in getting that. I would like to see Lennox Smith, though, as a senator. Yep.
But I want to narrow down because I got a sense that apart from the fact that the UNC did the groundwork as a UNC and exposed to the national acceptance or exposure, but I think you yesterday would have said that why it is that you have to look for a referendum or look for consultation when in fact the people are experiencing the crime situation, etc., and therefore what consultation you need, because it is part of their existential and existing experiences, so that there was no need really. Everybody ought to have been on board, but because of political agendas, that has not materialized. I'm talking here specifically now about the ZOSO, right? Because all of those PNM representatives must know that their constituencies are in jeopardy, are in chaos, are in turmoil. And as a consequence of that, that would have been at least a semi-panacea, if not a total revolution, to, of course, begin the process of settling down these communities so that they could make their contribution in the way that the society expects them so to do.
Nice. And I agree with you. So again, with Lennox, they say that no, Lennox will carry that press conference, that thing too long, and we will rather him in Senate. Lennox go. But so the people going to understand you all here. You see, if they get he that position, they will need me to the side of him. So when he done, I got to organize a break it down for the grassroots to understand only. So let me know get the government double work now only. We're laughing for, but Snipes know that too. I seen Snipes face, but I know Snipes laughing too.
Well, is there a difference with Nicole Dyer? Is there a difference? But anyhow, we have a caller on this side. We have a caller on this side. We have a caller on this side, people. Sorry about that, but we have to do some humor and some intervention to make ourselves sane in this place. Good morning.
Hey, hello, morning. How are you? How are you doing? Everything okay?
Yes, indeed. As you have heard us smiling excessively this morning. Yes.
Yeah, well, it seems like you now come to Trinidad because when Kamala was last there, you understand?
Mm-hmm.
Anil Wamet and Muniral, all of them was in council. So that is why Rowley and them got the 10. They didn't want to put back Kamala there. So we have to see how she will be running the country again this time that she's around. You understand? Because all the ministers, and Robert come and like he wants to be he's the best. He have to check all and let them do the check on him first before he looking to say that all this other thief. When he cow tie, they wait after graze.
All right, thank you very much. And I have one on my side.
Go
ahead,
I wanted to call back caller because I want to find out from you. What is your view on Kamala's performance so far? But go ahead, caller.
Only I want to direct this question to Lennox. Lennox, if you're both candidates who went up for love until won their seats, right? And these in the Senate, the senators who they say independent still voted against this bill, this ozone bill or what would you have done or said considering that?
If I was what? Start. I didn't hear
From your candidate, if your both candidates won in Lavantil.
If your candidate won.
If I right, yes.
What would you have done?
I would have taken a similar position as that of the government.
Agree, but what I'm saying, but nothing could be done still with the senators because the senators were still independent and they were still
in other words, I say what the government would have done, meaning that I would have criticized their tails.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, thank you. Oh boy, right. I like how we get to the point. Let's continue all here. It have a lot of calls. If you only have any on all this side there, you all can go ahead. Let me finish off these calls here quick. These voice notes too.
No, I don't think we have anything.
Good morning, Andy. I want to talk about that irrelevant David Abdullah guy who's always protesting outside the U.S. Embassy for either Maduro, Cuba, George Floyd, or anything anti-American. The truth is, where has Abdullah been so silent on the killing of young Joshua Samaru? Is it because his life doesn't matter, or because you and all those non-U.S. visa protesters turn a blind eye to TNT's problems? Maybe you should all join Marsh's 4-engine boat, ride in the Caribbean Sea. If you want answers, Abdullah, now you and all those anti-American Bush Tea protesters will never get a U.S. visa ever again. Have a great day, Andy, and take care, friends.
This Trump always wants somebody to ride in the boat to come out there in Pirog and make sure the boat have four engines on it. Man, all they don't go out there in the sea there with no boat with 4 engines. Well, let's see what's going on. Let's continue.
Good morning, Andy. Good morning, Lennox. Good morning to all the haters and the bad mind who say KFC beg, KFC look bad. KFC is going to use wit and the skills to survive out there because we live in a world nobody loves nobody. Andy, the U.S. government is looking too good, boy. We are real whistleblowers in the UNC there, boy. That's coming out. I get certain ministers resume and this and that, and the project, the work that I'm going to launch in, nobody in call me. I'm going by corporation, nobody in calling me. Well, my MP, Ms. Van Dam, I don't know what I do, what's the politically wrong? I get thin skin total, I said I have feelings. The time I first recommend me to get a job in help all the through, because I'm locally fit to work. But I'm fighting through social development, no kind of assistance, and they're so wicked to the other poor and needy. I fight and toil. I do political suicide work for this government. I go in by the media and call out that man and hold that man to ransom. Because I feel that man, poor John, and me, that I get and so that pundit. So all in the chat, all. I'm talking about selling nuts, taking nuts and putting nuts with the monkey, put the nuts. And they play my voice notes. You need to talk the truth. Don't sing for your party.
I ain't gonna lie, you know. Hey. All you, KSC have a loose screen on you. I honestly believe now. The fellas are nice fella, you know. But I know, I convinced he has some screws that need tightening by. Good morning, Andy. And then all of a sudden this man voice come out, Andy. Then all of a sudden he start to cry, what are you doing, man? Boy, Jah, Rastafari, only on the ground report Lennox Smith. Before I can't talk there,
well,
so you ought to go.
You know what came out very, very poignantly, what came out very, hitting you in the face is that at least he's consistent. Just as Mr. Nobody, he's consistent. he comes out there and he says what he has to say, even though of course it may offend, and he does that over and over and over and over repetitively. So he's consistent in that regard. So I think by now everybody should get accustomed that when he comes or when Mr. Nobody comes, you are going to get just one topic that is central to the basis for their commentary at this time. But we have to go for the break, and when we come back, more on this edition of the Ground Report.
Carnival Stories. History in motion. Carnival Stories, brought to you with the compliments of Lion, the power behind our great taste traditions.
The Borriquite. The Borriquite, from the Spanish word burriquito, means little donkey, is a classic carnival character made from bamboo and wood, creating the illusion of a dancer riding a small donkey, reins in hand. This tradition has roots in East Indian Hindu culture and the South American mainland, particularly Venezuela. The costume features a colored paper donkey's head on a bamboo frame, a long satin skirt for the body, and a sistal tail, often decorated with flowers. The rider wears a satin shirt and a matador's or straw hat. As guitars, cuatros, and shak-shaks play, the performer mimics the playful antics of a donkey, prancing, bowing, and teasing the crowd. This dance, known as the Borriquite, originated in Venezuela and remains a lively part of our carnival heritage.
Carnival Stories, where culture meets the road. You've been listening to Carnival Stories, brought to you with the compliments of Lion, the power behind our great taste traditions.
The Lion brand always had a plan, giving great taste all across the land. Pelori, fry, bake, roti, and double stew, made with great taste just for me and you. All through the year and all season, the Lion brand is the reason. When the Lion brand in the kitchen, we know to mix and move, we're gonna mix and move.
This carnival season, mix and move with the Lion brand of products, the power behind our great taste traditions.
With the Lion brand.
If you are a migrant currently living in Trinidad and Tobago without legal immigration status, this message is for you. The government of Trinidad and Tobago has introduced a special registration process for migrants who have overstayed or entered the country illegally. The online registration process will begin from Monday 26th of January and end on Wednesday 25th of February 2026. All applicants are first required to register through the official portal at migrantregistration.gov.tt. That's migrantregistration.gov.tt. After completing the online registration, there will be a mandatory in-person processing and verification which begins at the end of February 2026. The start date for that phase will be announced through official government channels. The in-person registration will take place at the Hazley Crawford Stadium, Port of Spain, the Atto Bolden Stadium in Balmain, Couva, and the Larry Gomes Stadium in Malabar, Arima, as well as the Dwight York Stadium, Bacalet, Scarborough, Tobago. Applicants will undergo a comprehensive verification process which will include vetting by the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service involving fingerprinting and background checks. You will also be required to undergo basic medical screening. Upon completion of the registration process, successful applicants will be required to pay $700 for the migrant registration card. The ministry reminds undocumented migrants your participation in this exercise is essential, as failure to register during this window will result in deportation. This special registration process for migrants is your opportunity to be documented, protected, and allowed to work legally in Trinidad and Tobago for a defined period. For additional instructions, along with online application and required forms, visit the official portal at migrantregistration.gov.tt. That's migrantregistration.gov.tt. This message brought to you by the Ministry of Homeland Security and the Information Division, Office of the Prime Minister.
Any views or opinions expressed on the Ground Report are solely those of the hosts and callers and do not represent the views, policies, or official position of Talk City 91.1, its management, or affiliates.
This is your TTT News Update. I'm Carrie Roberts. Making the news at this time. The Ministry of Education says it is taking steps to help students overcome difficulties with mathematics in the secondary entrance assessment. According to the ministry, efforts are focused on including artificial intelligence methods to provide additional support to students with the aim of improving overall performance in the examination. Their new AI-powered platform was developed to support children in reaching their full potential. Director of the Division of Education Research and Evaluation, Kamini Bagalu, says the new platform is designed to guide students, educators, and other key stakeholders.
So this is a platform that has been developed in-house at the Ministry of Education by our Educational Technology Unit. And it really keeps aligned with our ministry's policy, where we focus on the development of the children, parents, and even the entire education system. So the SCA Past Paper Solution platform, it is really designed to give support both to parents, students, even to the teachers. And in the end, we expect to see an improvement in the pass rates in mathematics as well.
She explained that mathematics is being given targeted attention, as statistics show it is the area where students tend to underperform.
So the SCA assesses 3 different areas: English language arts writing, and mathematics. However, when we would have looked at the data and we would have analyzed the performance in mathematics, what we would have seen over the years is that the mean performance in mathematics had remained just a little over 50 when compared to English language arts, which was in the 60s. However, when we also would have drilled down a little further and we would have looked at the number of students scoring less than 50% in the SCA mathematics, we would have seen that it was almost like 48% of the students.
Ms. Bagalu said this disparity drove the research and helped the ministry to create the targeted online response, which is meant to give students more practice with the subject.
The avatar is there to answer all their questions, to guide them. And one thing we want parents to be guided by, since it was developed internally, right, they can be sure that it's a safe platform, so there are no hallucinations or bias coming from the avatar, because it is trained to only answer mathematics questions.
The media fraternity is in mourning today following the passing of a veteran of the lens. TTT Limited's very own Phil Britton, a long-serving cameraman based in South Trinidad, has died. Phil was known not just for his technical skill, but for a tireless work ethic that saw him through decades of reporting. For those who worked alongside him in the field, Phil Britton was more than just a cameraman. He was a standard bearer for dedication. He was stationed in the South Bureau for much of his career. Colleagues remember him as a man who would make every effort to get the shot, regardless of the challenges. Phil's passing leaves a significant void in the TTT family and the wider media landscape of Trinidad and Tobago. He leaves behind a legacy of hard work, resilience, and a deep passion for the craft of visual storytelling. Rest in peace, Phil. In other news now, on Thursday, the Minister of Sport and Youth Affairs, Philip Watts, welcomed Trinidad and Tobago sibling cyclists Neil Campbell and Akil Campbell during a courtesy visit to his office. The Minister Watts held engaging discussions with the athletes, commending their passion, dedication, and continued excellence in cycling. The Campbell siblings are set to represent Trinidad and Tobago at the Elite Pan American Track Championships, scheduled for February 16th to the 22nd in Santiago, Chile. Minister Watts extended his best wishes to both athletes as they prepare to represent Trinidad and Tobago on the international stage. And that was your TTT News Update. I'm Carrie Roberts. Have a great day.
That was TTT News on Talk City 91.1 FM.
These are not just stories, they are the echoes of who we are, passed down in voices, in silence, and in memory. From the heart of the Caribbean, where history, mystery, and magic meet, this is Echoes of Our Folklore. Echoes of Our Folklore. Your weekly journey into the legends, stories, and whispers of our islands. Echoes of Our Folklore. Brought to you with the compliments of Creamery for all life's moments. In the deep shadowed forests, there is a presence that has walked these lands long before roads, before cities, before man believed the wilderness belonged to him. His name is Papa Bois. They say Papa Bois is short and stocky, with two horns crowning his head and the legs of a deer. He moves silently through the trees, carrying a horn of his own, one that he uses not to threaten, but to test. For when wicked hunters enter the forest with greed in their hearts, Papa Bois sounds his call, luring them deeper into the bush until the familiar path disappears and they are left lost among the trees. But make no mistake, Papa Bois is not a creature of evil. He is spoken of as a kind and ancient spirit, a guardian of the forest, a protector of animals, and a keeper of balance between humanity and nature. To those who respect the land, he is unseen. To those who seek only to exploit it, he becomes a warning. Papa Bois reminds us that the forest is not ours to conquer, but a living world to protect. Another tale from our islands, reminding us that the past, the spirits, and the stories of our ancestors are never far away. You've been listening to Echoes of Our Folklore. Echoes of Our Folklore. Only on Talk City 91.1 FM. You've been listening to Echoes of Our Folklore, brought to you with the compliments of Creamery for all life's moments.
I've got a smile on my face, 'cause I got a taste of something so yummy and good for my tummy. Now I've got Creamery yogurt on my mind. Try plain pineapple, strawberry, vanilla or peach. They're all natural, so healthy and delicious to eat. Now I've got Creamery yogurt on my mind.
Try the new all-natural Creamery yogurt today and improve your digestive health with our amazing flavors. It's yummy for your tummy.
I've got Creamery.
Creamery yogurt, a new way to snack.
If you are a migrant currently living in Trinidad and Tobago without legal immigration status, this message is for you. The government of Trinidad and Tobago has introduced a special registration process for migrants who have overstayed or entered the country illegally. The online registration process will begin from Monday 26th of January and end on Wednesday 25th of February 2026. All applicants are first required to register through the official portal at migrantregistration.gov.tt. That's migrantregistration.gov.tt. After completing the online registration, there will be a mandatory in-person processing and verification which begins at the end of February 2026. The start date for that phase will be announced through official government channels. The in-person registration will take place at the Hazley Crawford Stadium, Port of Spain, the Atto Bolden Stadium in Balmain, Couva, and the Larry Gomes Stadium in Malabar, Arima, as well as the Dwight York Stadium, Bacalet, Scarborough, Tobago. Applicants will undergo a comprehensive verification process, which will include vetting by the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service involving fingerprinting and background checks. You will also be required to undergo basic medical screening. Upon completion of the registration process, successful applicants will be required to pay $700 for the migrant registration card. The ministry reminds undocumented migrants your participation in this exercise is essential, as failure to register during this window will result in deportation. This special registration process for migrants is your opportunity to be documented, protected, and allowed to work legally in Trinidad and Tobago for a defined period. For additional instructions, along with online application and required forms, visit the official portal at migrantregistration.gov.tt. That's migrantregistration.gov.tt. This message brought to you by the Ministry of Homeland Security and the Information Division, Office of the Prime Minister.
History in the rhythm. Issues in the spotlight. Talk City 91.1. Wake up to the issues that matter most on the Ground Report. Join Andy Williams and Lennox Smith every morning from 6 to 9 a.m. for real talk, real analysis, and real perspectives on the stories shaping our nation. News, current affairs, and voices from the ground, unfiltered and unapologetic. That's the Ground Report. Weekday mornings on Talk City 91.1, where the conversation begins.
This is Destra. Right now you're listening to Talk City 91.1. Keep it locked.
Six a.m. to 9 a.m. Join Andy Williams and Lennox Smith, the Ground Report team, as they rip apart the lies, half-truth, and misinformation that the mainstream media never discuss. The Ground Report. Hard-hitting, informative, undiluted, uncompromising, and unfiltered. Monday to Friday. Get the raw facts before making any life-changing decisions. Only on the Ground Report.
Bang, bang, bang. Bang, 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 bang.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. I like this morning. I was kind of sour in the beginning, you know. Yeah, I started to make my emotion get away, boy. Wanting things perfect, that's how life is, eh? I like a marshal. I like things to go perfect. Nothing to be perfect, but you want as best as possible. Especially when you believe better could be done. That's the type of person I am. But it's going good so far. Trinidad and Tobago. Let me just organize it quick, and just show off these voice notes and you all there quick. And those who are you that was calling, you all could organize and call back.
Listen, good morning, Mike, Lennox, and Andy. Andy, let me ask you this one.
Don't forget my
I know the
director next
Minister
time.
of Transport
And good morning, Snipes.
wants to come out Elaine or zigzag from Elaine. But I hearing something, and I believe that he's reading out something too. And it's kind of confusing. It's concerning these devices or these apparatus that usually hold these cell phones in cars and stuff. The guy wants you to stop using them things too. The minister and the government want you to stop using them devices or apparatus that holding on to these things. So if it's so, figure this out for me now. What kind of madness is that? So when you can't use your phone in your car at all, I guess. Just to find maps of areas and stuff. All right? Questions, everyone.
Nobody again. I'm like what I'm hearing. Thank you, Andy, for steering the conversation in this direction. And I agree with you. Miss Besad Bissessa is a good one. She's the best chance we've had in a long while. So here's what she can do. And Lennox Smith hinted at it, probably by accident. It is the Senate you had to tackle. But here's how you do it. You mentioned it too. Put in your own president with the specific intention and be vocal about it. Don't hide it. Go to the public and say, I am installing a president so that the president's senators can support me in the parliament to fix the constitution, because it's the only way. The system is crooked. I am using the crooked system in the crooked way it has always been done, but not for my benefit, for your benefit. To install more representation for you, to install more control for you over this prime minister, myself, and any prime minister to come, because I know I can't live forever, right? If she does that, she would leave a legacy. I mean, she would leave a legacy that this country will remember forever. And the next piece of this thing is a critical mass of people need to come to the understanding that a lot of the problems we face is a constitutional problem. Certainly over the last 10 years, that was a demonstration of it. If enough people know this is why I've been at it for over 20 years, then they would insist on constitutional reform, and they will provide anybody who wants to do this for them with all the majority they need in the lower house.
Good morning, Andy. Andy was finished talking about Nicole Dyer. Nicole Dyer is a non-entity. Nobody knows her. Right? You know her, Gary Griffith's wife, and them toting feelings for years. Them can't be no part of that. And Nicole are trying to bring them into the UNC to come and mash up when they get away. Well, we had people like that already in the past. They was there. Because they get away, they mash up all they want to bring them back again. And something wrong with all the boy Andy.
I don't like I
was wondering when somebody would really say that. I was wondering. It was very predictable that somebody you would have attracted, or that suggestion would have attracted the anger, the irate of someone. Yeah, and I think it was well manifested there.
Like I don't have a loose screw, yes. Like what the lines, yes. But I know it's Mr. X and Stefan. It's who were my colleagues on the other program. And nobody tell them nothing.
And maybe they are suffering from a similar malady.
Nobody tell Stefan nothing. Nobody tell X nothing. When they come, the thing they say, yeah, the best person is Nicole Dyer, but afraid to call the surname. Eh? They don't want to call the surname, they call the surname.
Yeah, I was wondering, I sat here very silent. Names were called, but when that name came up, I said, but how nobody is, responding to that. And I got it full blown. So I had to say, in terms of the expectation and the response, well done, caller.
Nice. And in terms of my response, Trinidad and Tobago, here it is. Remember I tell all it's not me that's cut all off, it's Nigel Snipes, the director. It's he that's go for a break, so here it is. You see that white trout? It's my program after my program. It's them trout that I told you, not the pitbull. Leave the pitbull alone.
Of course, on a more serious note, quickly before we run out of time, the whole question of the ministry. I want to commend the Ministry of Education for bringing on board this avatar that is solely and specifically responsible for assisting those C students with mathematics, and of course, it falls directly in sync with what we are attempting to do on George Street at our resource center. In fact, after Carnival, we'll be opening a full class. We have already gotten the registration process going, and to assist those young people. So that will assist us. Of course, we'll want to get some more devices because now we'll have to get the computers and so on, more computers to aid in that process because it's an electronic one. But the fact is, one cannot take away the problem with mathematics as far as that exam is concerned and the poor performances that really, and that goes on to really into the secondary system and have the students not being able to cope with the advanced work, comparatively speaking, at the secondary level, far less for the tertiary level. So we need to commend the Ministry of Education for that very visionary and responsive, very practical, and I look forward to, of course, testing that system and to see how it will improve the mathematical performance of students, particularly in communities such as East Port of Spain, Laventille, and so on. You know, I must mention that. But of course, it extended to Diego Martin, East West Corridor, and the whole country, including Tobago.
Go ahead, Cora.
All right.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
I just wanted to touch on the ZOSO and how people were misled based on how we use the acronym ZOSO. The name of the bill that was being introduced is the Law Reform Zones of Special Operations, Special Security, and Community Development Measures Bill of 2026, right? We use an acronym, and we actually contributed to having the bill. It lost its essence now, boy. If you look at community and development, we didn't speak on those things in Parliament. They learned people just spoke about ZOSO. They didn't see it have community development. So when you started ZOSO, people just say, well, the state just want to go and do what they want to do. But you have community development, that the other part of the bill. And this is what people didn't speak about. They didn't talk about it in Parliament. They just go on straight into whatever they believe or perceive it is. And we misled the whole country and plus whoever listening on the outside. And we didn't talk about, listen, rural development and local government need to get involved to do restoration work, development, fix park, cut grass, these type of stuff. It's an environment we're trying to make to aid people to have that security and safety and comfort. You know, we just spoke about things that was irrelevant, and it manifests itself into something that wasn't really positive. Because when they talk about environment, it's a big thing. When they talk about community development, it's bigger than what you think it is. You know, we didn't speak about it, and we just prolong everything. And these learned people is what I have a problem with, because you contributed in Parliament and you're speaking only about security and the state going to have access and prime minister this, but you have to look at the other part of the bill is community development, and we didn't see it. I take, for instance, the independent senators and they see it fit to speak on the other parts of it either, because and they have people, the lawyers and all these people who are reading, people who should be, and they didn't read the entire the bill. If you look at clause 28, it has provisions to review the act, and it had two provisions fit, one at any time and the other within 3 years. And we didn't take time to read to see, look, this is what's going on, this is what the bill says, and let's talk about it. Let's talk about restoration, get rural development and local government to get involved and fix the place, rural grounds, cut grass, make lights. No, these provisions we're looking for. But I did my contribution for that. Thanks very much.
Thank you very much. And Lennox Smith did
All
talk
I want
about
to
it.
say, I want to say, go to the top of the class. Go to the top of the class. But I also want to say that it clearly is not by accident that they did not focus there, because the intention was to scuttle the whole process and deprive those communities who, after the implementation of this measure, would have been better off by far. And I want to commend you for that. But it is not to say that they didn't know, because they are the ones, not us out here. They were the ones. They, the parliamentarians, were the ones, of course, that had the responsibility to be honest to themselves and to the amelioration of the problems out there.
Nice. Go ahead, next caller. Pleasant good morning to you. Caller, where you calling from?
Good.
What? Yes.
Good morning, Andy. Good morning, the ground. Good morning, Michael Kia and Lennox. Good morning to everybody. Andy,
yes.
I just listened to KFC, Andy. Something wrong with KFC. I talk about it like, Andy, all you have to leave KFC. KFC gone mad. He have a mental problem. Andy, the next problem too, I really wanted to say something, Andy.
Yes.
I was watching you on Ali with the fella they hit and run. Fellow for Brian Malley, like working in the office, Andy. And that hit and run took place about a month ago. The hit and run. But Andy, my biggest concern, Andy, that if Ian didn't investigate that matter.
If Ian didn't investigate, or if Ian Allen didn't investigate the matter, how manage the police service itself?
Yes, Andy boy.
Andy, table, yeah.
Boy, Andy, the police service, boy, is the biggest problem in Trinidad and Tobago, man.
And it's the same thing with the shooting with the fella. If Ian didn't throw out that video, we would have never see the other side.
Andy, in the US, right? Our police services go from house to house. Good morning. Could we take a look at your camera? Could we do this? get it today 6. Yeah. Have appointment here. I'll come back. Yeah. Could you, Ali, the go every home, knocking your door, go down in the subway station, everything. We police service and in Trinidad and Tobago is very, 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 very too lazy, boy. They ain't ready yet, boy. They ain't have that knowledge, boy. When I watched you on Allen 2 days ago with that matter, boy, in less than 2 days, boy, that man find that fellow, boy. You telling me the police officers and them who 40, 50 years in the police service don't have that knowledge to go beyond, right? Boy, and there's something wrong, right? They need to wake up, right? They need to shape up. That is all my comment, right?
All
For
right.
today. Have a great weekend, right?
Thank you,
But
friend.
KFC, you need a bush bad, right? It's
We papa. Sir. KFC is a good one, man. Only we had to organize and you know, the other day a lady get vexed, but she don't call back the program. But it's one of the number ones anyhow. Nice lady, you know, real nice lady. But I just put it across the wrong way, and it came across late disrespectful. When I told her that she need to take some stale pea and put a cocaine broom in it now and beat she son. Since that she never called back, but I want to apologize because I didn't put it across the right way now. So I want to apologize to her, which she's listening, but she never called back. Right?
Yeah. Well, it was really humor, more than anything else, and she should take it in that spirit, and not that it was a legitimate, expected to be executed recommendation.
Yes,
right?
yes. Because in real, I mean,
it was more for humor purposes. Right?
Yeah, and why I say that, Lennox, because in real, nobody's supposed to force their own child. A child supposed to know when a mother reaches a certain age, give her that support, stand up with your mother, all those various things. And to see, I felt sorry for her that, you know, she always called the radio station, you know, thinking about her son and the support she needs and his upper hill she lives. And, you know, so I say it had to be some kind of zombie on him. So that was suggest he cocaine broom and he still pissed was to beat the zombie out him, and then he'd start to climb the hill and go and check his mother and help out his mother and things. So that why it come up with that now. So but
if he was listening, you know, he would have at least take note as to how people feel about him, you know, by that level of delinquency and that abandonment, having regard to the relationship, because she said that, you know, she did all what she could have, and I assume that it would have been a lot of sacrifices, and here it is. Of course, he has proven to be disappointing.
Nice. But somebody online is saying, Wayne is saying, Raim Ramdas is saying, Raim Ramdas is saying, and the people ain't seeing how much work happening on the highway. No, you can see the southbound from the northbound, which is true. Earlier, the highway is going to San Fernando, Chagonas, all this. So it have massive cleaning up the place, trying to look like people. The place really trying to look like people, right? And Nigel, in fact, Nigel is saying, blessed morning, Andy and Lennox, and to all. Okay, somebody here did throw something for Lennox, which I understand, but like it gone. What I was trying to say is semantics. Let me see if I find it back quick. I know it was semantics. I see did write something like that. But she is an elderly person, Lennox. Right, and that's why I'm apologizing now. She may not really and truly see the humor in it, however it go. So semantics is saying, but she is an elderly person, Lennox, and may not appreciate that kind of humor. And I understand that, and that's why
that's why we thought it necessary to elaborate a bit that it wasn't intended to offend. So if it was taken in that context or in that way, well, of course, the apology is certainly will go a long way, hopefully, of reconciling the situation.
Katie Acton online here on Facebook is saying, call us so truth. Police here always do. which is police here, the lazy, the thing. They can't solve a case. Ian Allen doing a much better job than them. Lisa is saying, you don't buy knowledge. You have to acquire it. Obviously, she's showing that for the police service of Trinidad, because our police officers will want to do the right job, but the seniors, they're in trouble. Noah is saying police in Trinidad are too corrupt, right? And we can go on and on as I acknowledge those of you that are online with us on at 91 at Talk City 91.1 FM on Facebook, on YouTube, and on Twitter. And for those of you that also on the Real Media TT Facebook, Real Media TT YouTube, Real Media TT Facebook, YouTube, Ground Report on YouTube, Corridor Transformation on YouTube, and 648 Television Irvin and them there on the YouTube. Okay? Nice. So let's organize and go back to the lines. Let's go back to the lines. What's on your front burner? Or after the break? Here it is. Let's take whatever break because I want to call the Honorable Minister in the Ministry of Housing, Philip Alexander, to touch on the whole issue of Camille Robinson Regis. Remember, she was off the grid for a little while. Yeah, she really was off the grid for a little while. The Honorable MP Camille Robinson Regis. And especially after the lady died, and then she come back in a kind of way now. Lennox, would you be able to just give us one before we go away that you find she come back?
Be as practical as I see it. She was off the grid, and when she came back, she's now off her rock.
Wow. Well, who best to describe that other than the Honorable Senator Philip Alexander when we come back?
Yes, we go for the break, and of course, when we come back more, it's getting hotter in here.
In case you missed it, Trinidad and Tobago has secured a historic partnership with OpenAI, the global leader in artificial intelligence and creator of ChatGPT. Through this collaboration, Trinidad and Tobago joins the first cohort of OpenAI's Education for Countries initiative alongside Estonia, Greece, Italy's Conference of University Rectors, Jordan, Kazakhstan, Slovakia, and the United Arab Emirates. The program integrates AI into schools and universities to support personalized learning, reduce administrative demands on educators, and prepare the workforce for an AI-driven future. So, what does this partnership mean for Trinidad and Tobago? Minister of Public Administration and Artificial Intelligence, Senator the Honorable Dominic Smith, explains.
Fundamentally, it represents a vision to be leaders in the space, a vision to be leaders in technology, and also to really craft new avenues for revenue generation through the ICT sector. That's what we're trying to do, build models that can now derive revenue for the country outside of our traditional sectors. That's one. Secondly, OpenAI is a $1 trillion company. It's one of the first companies globally to hit that $1 trillion US dollar mark, right? So it's not a small ask when a country such as ours with 1.4 million people with an annual budget of 60 billion, we are part of that unique cohort through the vision of the Prime Minister, but also through the dedication of the ministry, looking for these multilateral organizations to see what knowledge transfer can be gained from them. And so we embarked upon that about 4 months ago during my first trip to New York through the UNGA. Many would have seen that we were participating with conversations with stakeholders, with organizations such as the UN, UNESCO, the UNDP, and by extension, a part of that global setting, several companies were also participants in and around this space. So we began to have a conversation with the experts in AI. Naturally, the ministry is an AI-driven or layered ministry, and we wanted to see what is being done globally and how can we benchmark what is best practice. So conversations happened, several meetings after, and it resulted in Trinidad and Tobago being selected among many countries, 180 plus, to be part of what they call the ChatGPT EDU. And that's no small task. So it's a big congratulations to the ministry and the team, a big congratulations to the Prime Minister, of course, and by extension, the citizens.
This venture is not just symbolic. According to the minister, it is about preparing people, modernizing systems, and keeping pace with technological change.
We are leading the charge, that's one. We are early adopters, and early adopters are typically the countries that benefit the most. What are we trying to accomplish with it? Well, it's twofold. We have the challenge where technology is advancing at such a rapid pace. We have to also couple that with the advancement of the human capital development. So persons would be trained, they would be supplied with information, obviously, through ChatGPT and through OpenAI as a company. We'll also be doing a number of initiatives within schools, partnering with the Ministry of Education to really seamlessly integrate artificial intelligence as a tool in the learning environment. By extension, for the public service, what this does is that it takes routine tasks that they would typically do and essentially make it more efficient, allow them parts for efficiency within the public service so that they can now go on to more tasks, do different things. And so it's an advancement, it's an efficiency creation, and by extension, on the aggregate level, the country will see a reduction in costs that the public sector typically incurs. And we're excited by that cost saving.
Minister of Public Administration and Artificial Intelligence, Senator the Honorable Dominic Smith. As artificial intelligence continues to reshape how societies learn and work, this partnership between Trinidad and Tobago and OpenAI places our nation among a small group of countries taking early steps to prepare their people, institutions, and public service for the future.
This was a production of the Information Division, Office of the Prime Minister.
This Valentine's season, Talk City 91.1 FM celebrates second chances at love. Were you divorced, heartbroken, widowed, and thought love was over until it found you again? Share your story on air in just 1 or 2 minutes. Tell us how you healed, how long it took, and how love returned. Respectfully, honestly, and from the heart. Daily winners will be selected with a grand prize winner announced on Friday, February 13th. Second chances. Love after heartbreak. Only on Talk City 91.1.
I dey carry your water from the moon and back, oh. I dey change my track, oh, just to see you there.
Your news, anytime, anywhere. TTT News brings you the facts that matter most. On air and online. More ways to stay informed. TTT News covers the stories that matter. Join us nightly at 7. TTT News. Committed, accurate, relevant.
Boy, I ain't brass playing in my head whole morning, you know.
That is not brass, that is hunger.
Nah, that is brass bacchanal calling all you. Brass bacchanal? Wait, that is the ones where all them bands and them just show off with their music?
Show off is a showdown of sound.
This Carnival Monday night, get ready for Brass Bacchanal 2026. 9 of the baddest brass bands go head-to-head, competing for $100,000. Monday, February 16th, Queen's Park, Savannah. Showtime, 9 p.m. sharp. Tickets are only $150. Available at Java Nation stores nationwide, the NCC box office, and online at islandetickets.com. Bring your crew, bring your coolers, and feel the power of live brass like never before. Get ready! Brass Bacchanal Carnival Monday night. Presented by the National Carnival Commission.
Mornings just got louder, bolder, and more informed. From 6 to 9 a.m., it's the Ground Report with Andy Williams and Lennox Smith on Talk City 91.1.
This is Destra. Right now you're listening to Talk City 91.1. Keep it locked. Bang, 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 bang.
The Ground Report with Andy Williams and Lennox Smith.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Trinidad and Tobago, we are back. Time check. It's approximately 38 minutes past the hour of 8 o'clock, and you're listening to the #1 program in Trinidad and Tobago, The Ground Report. Yes. I must say a pleasant good morning to all my maxi taxi drivers, PH drivers, bus drivers, truckers. Good morning to you. And the big question this morning here are, the Honorable Camille Robinson Regis was off the grill. She was. Well, Lennox Smith, my colleague, say, well, now she's off the rocks. And one senator have an issue with her, and we want to know why he has that issue with her. While now she's back on the grill. And that senator, as we mentioned to you, is none other than Senator the Honorable Philip Alexander. A pleasant good morning to you, Senator. In studio, Director Snipes, my colleague Lennox Smith, and yours truly, the pitbull of radio. Go ahead, Senator.
It's about 16 years now I talking to Ground Reporter.
Yes.
It's the biggest, longest running, strongest political show on the airwaves. Congratulations, guys. I mean, keep up the good work. Thank you for having me on air this morning. A special good morning to you. Hundreds of thousands of listeners in Trinidad and Tobago and the wider Caribbean and the millions all around the world. This show has the ability to transform politics. Keep doing your job, my brother. You have the right title, the pit bull. When you bite down, you don't let go till it bleed.
Yes.
I like that. Let's go.
Yes.
Hit me. Where I want to know.
Lennox, hit him.
Well, yes. The going on, the current is that the Camille Robinson, among others, are calling for your resignation, including that of the titular minister, Mr. David Lee.
So she's calling for our resignation for what we didn't know.
Yes.
She says she's calling for our resignation for what we didn't know. But she's the last person to talk about that. She didn't know you couldn't use a state credit card to pay for fertility treatment. She didn't know you couldn't use a state credit card to pay for weaves. She still don't know where the $143,000 that she went to try and deposit in the bank come from. She don't know who pulled the files from the Professional Standards Bureau of the Police Service that was investigating that crime. She know none of that. But she wants to come and talk to us because she thinks that the HTC launched a new policy and Minister Lee said he didn't know. Camille Robinson Regis needs to crawl back into whatever hole she was hiding in since Trump come out. And a lot of these PNM ministers hiding from Trump. And she should tell the country, because this might be one of the things she does know, where she was for all these months, when she was drawing salary as a member of parliament, and nobody was seeing or hearing her, where she was. Can I answer those questions? Before
Yes,
she
well, she has opened the Pandora's box clearly, and therefore all holds bar. She has also said that, well, I suppose I don't know who she is referring to. I'm pretending that I don't. But of course, she talks about troll ministers. What's your view?
Troll ministers. But she had to be a mad woman. She have Randall Mitchell outside here making this issue about African versus Indian. Randall Mitchell just put himself in hot water. And I hope the Prime Minister take him before the Equal Opportunities Commission. Because Randall Mitchell put out a whole graphic about carny lands for Indian and HTC house for African. First of all, I did not know, and he tagged David Williams, and he tagged Selvin Cujo. So I didn't know that the policy of the HTC was to build houses only for African people. That is news to me. Randall Mitchell was a Minister of Housing. Camille Robinson Regis was a Minister of Housing. And the media have to ask them if they think that the HTC is only for African people. That's the first question. The second question I want to ask him is, didn't he know that the carny lands that he lists on the graphic, that he wanted to say Indian people get carny lands? I wonder if he didn't know, like how Camille Robinson Regis didn't know that she couldn't spend state credit cards on fertility treatments. I wonder if he didn't know that that was visa package that the people accept in lieu of money at a time when the country had no money. You was dismantling Caroni, the way you dismantled the train system, the way you dismantled Petrotrin, the way you dismantled the economy, the way you dismantled the whole of Trinidad and Tobago PNM. And you had to pay Indian people, the workers of Caroni Limited, in Caroni land, scrub land, dirt land, sugarcane land, agriculture land for them to grow food and feed themselves and the nation. But I wonder if Randall Mitchell was aware of that. And I want to put him and Camille Robinson Regis on notice. I am in the Housing Development Corporation as a Minister of Housing. I am there. I am seeing for myself. I want him to know. I want her to know. I am not one of them PNM chupidi that is deal with. We have our information and our facts. In fact, I want to tell Camille Robinson Regis this morning, she don't have the line length or measure to deal with either me or Arnold Roberts, and two of us together, we will bury them. They need to stay in their lane.
One quick question I want to ask you quickly before we go, because we have a next break coming on.
Go ahead, Andy. Go ahead. Yes.
Marvin Gonzalez. I don't know if the 1% papers, CNC3, and all of them, The Guardian and all of them, is he the new opposition leader of the PNM? How manage everything that is focused now is all about just Marvin Gonzalez, just asking questions such as how manage WASA have new workers, how much money, all those various things, always Marvin Gonzalez. What's your thoughts on Mr. Marvin Gonzalez framing to be, to me, he come across like stronger than Penny Beckles?
Faris Johnny Sukaran Al-Rawi wanted to be the strongest Syrian in government because he pretended to be a Syrian. But as a real Syrian, I want to tell you that I was at a family function where some of my Syrian families who does boast that they does finance the PNM have all but considered Penelope Beckles as dotish. They say the woman, she can't run a bingo, she can't run a barbecue, she can't run a foot race. They don't know how they end up with her as leader, but they can't put small pin because information coming out now about Akil Chambers and relations to him and stuff that went on in the PNM. So they need to look for another black face to fool people, and they're trotting out Marvin Gonzalez and they're trying him out. But Marvin Gonzalez is not the brightest tool in the shed, and he can't take, when you see you put pressure on him, he can't take it. He's wilt like a flower. So the PNM in trouble. The PNM in trouble. They might end up with Hans Devine as their leader.
Oh my God!
Yeah. Only yesterday, the Prime Minister at this ceremony at the Diplomatic Center said that all of the notes of cabinet would usually be directed to the president, and there is a school of thought that suggests that the leakage inclusive of the information that led to Camille Robinson calling for yours and others' resignation may be as a consequence of that relationship. Having regard to the outcome of the Zoso bill debacle as well. Your comments?
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, we know that they still have PNM infection still inside the government all over the place, doing PNM dirty work, taking 1% money on the side. We know all of that. It is why the people of Trinidad and Tobago overwhelmingly, convincingly fired the PNM on April 28th. And we will continue to do the work that we need to do. And as soon as, listen, it's easy to follow the trail and follow the money and get to these people en masse and prosecute. We're going down those roads. And I told people already, prosecution is not something like going in a parlor and buying a case of ball. A prosecution takes some time. You need to organize your evidence. You need to organize your prosecutorial approach before you even start to lay charges. Let me tell you something. This white-collar criminality that took place under the People's National Movement, under Keith Rowley and Harry Back, I want to tell the people of Trinidad and Tobago who seem to be in a hurry, stop pacing yourself, relax. What you're looking for coming. And I hope when you see certain members of the former government wearing state-sponsored silver bracelets, I hope they don't send their trolls to say we're targeting PNM. We're targeting the criminals in the PNM. They and the 1% handlers that looted this country for the past 62 years, not just the past 10. We're going to deal with it. We're going to fix it. Kamala 2.0, she tell you, do not mistake my kindness for weakness. I told Trinidad and Tobago she assembled an army. They could send Camille with hair. They could send Camille without hair. We're dealing with them. We're dealing with them. They will get licks in the parliament. They will get licks in the Senate. They will get licks on the road. Anywhere they come at us, they can't win a case. And then Ram Logan have the rest of them looking to give back their law degree and get back their money. They can't win a case. They can't win an argument. The PNM is over. Just now, Balize House will be for sale for somebody from Bamboo to come and sell used parts in town.
All right, thank you so much, Senator, the Honorable
Philip. Very poignant, wow. Very, incisive.
But
thank you very much, of course.
But I want to tell Lennox, he say how somebody in the Bamboo go and buy Balize House to sell car parts, yes? Boy, this senator easy, boy.
And the consent reaches with or without here.
Oh, God!
God. Have a good day.
Yes, man. What? Thank you very much, Mr. Senator. That was Senator Philip Alexander, of course, Minister in the Ministry of Housing, of course, giving his views on some topical matters that surrounded him and his ministry, and of course, some statements that would have been disclosed by the Prime Minister only yesterday, as far as cabinet notes are concerned, and reaching and sharing it with, of course, the president.
Hey, Director, if we had to take a break, we better we take it now, so we will still leave room to take 1 or 2 calls and play some voice notes. If it's up on you.
We take a break. Okay, we take a break, people, and when we come back more on this very hot period, of course, at the final day of the week for the ground report until Monday. But of course, we go for the break, and when we come back more.
Countable stories. History in motion. Jab jab, fire, chains, and defiance.
Blackened skin, horned masks, chains and whips. The jab jab is not meant to be comfortable. Rooted in Emancipation era celebrations, jab jab portrays both the devil of folklore and the image once forced onto Africans by their oppressors. The meaning, however, was reclaimed. What was used to frighten became a symbol of power. What was meant to shame became identity. When the jab jab cracks his whip, he is not threatening the crowd. He is announcing freedom.
Countable stories. Mass with meaning. Countable stories on Talk City 91.1 FM.
This Valentine's season, Talk City 91.1 FM celebrates second chances at love. Were you divorced, heartbroken, widowed, and thought love was over until it found you again? Share your story on air in just 1 or 2 minutes. Tell us how you healed, how long it took, and how love returned. Respectfully, honestly, and from the heart. Daily winners will be selected with a grand prize winner announced on Friday, February 13th. Second chances. Love after heartbreak. Only on Talk City 91.1.
I carry water from the moon and back, oh. I change my track, oh, just to see you there.
Your news, anytime, anywhere. TTT News brings you the facts that matter most. On air and online. More ways to stay informed. TTT News covers the stories that matter. Join us nightly at 7. TTT News. Committed, accurate, relevant.
Boy, I ain't brass playing in my head whole morning, you know.
That is not brass, that is hunger.
Nah, that is brass bacchanal calling all you. Brass bacchanal? Wait, that is the ones where all them bands and them just show off with their music?
Show off is a showdown of sound.
This Carnival Monday night, get ready for Brass Bacchanal 2026. 9 of the baddest brass bands go head to head, competing for $100,000. Monday, February 16th, Queen's Park, Savannah. Showtime, 9 p.m. sharp. Tickets are only $150. Available at Javanation stores nationwide, the NCC box office, and online at islandetickets.com. Bring your crew, bring your coolers, and feel the power of live brass like never before. Get ready. Brass Bacchanal Carnival Monday night. Presented by the National Carnival Commission.
Mornings just got louder, bolder, and more informed. From 6 to 9 a.m., it's the Ground Report with Andy Williams and Lennox Smith on Talk City 91.1.
This is Destra. Right now you're listening to Talk City 91.1. Keep it locked.
Oh boy. What a day. What a Friday. So don't forget, every time I say that, he just feel that I thinking that I jealous how he just dance. And I got jealous I cannot dance. Who got jealous I broke up for dance, this fella this dance. Lennox
You
Smith,
see, your obsession gives way your utterance.
Yeah. Well, let's not forget Lennox Smith would not have no corridor transformation tonight. You all know he will be out there as Spargos, doing this kind of thing. You all who view and we all will see. So all I can view this dance here. Let me show you how we this dance a little bit. It's simple, you know. Who listen on radio, all they go see it. So if all you see it, all you look on to at Talk City, at Talk City 91.1 FM on Facebook, YouTube, and on Twitter, or at Real Media TT, Facebook, YouTube, or on Twitter. Well, watch how the Lennox is dancing. Watch how the Lennox is dancing. Let me see. Let me point something there quick. I can't understand this kind of dance. I don't know, boy. Where that kind of thing this come from?
In the meantime, people, I was pleasantly surprised about the additional innovation for Carnival, a brass band competition on Carnival Monday night. I thought that is fantastic because really, by 12 o'clock, mass Monday night is complete. So therefore, it's nice to know that people can come out after that and still, enjoy at least the brass bands and in preparation for when the Merry Monarch will cross the stage on Tuesday, which is really, really the climax of Carnival. So I commended the organizers, the NCC organizers, for, of course, putting that in, as well as giving a central place to the culinary individuals who have been in the savannah perennially, but not recognized, and they were given a prominent place this year, and they made some money. Well done.
I all want to congratulate you too. I feel it. It's when I hear the
yeah. That boy, I used to love that too bad, boy.
Brass boy. But Lola, what's he dance? What's Lennox Smith dance quick before we take on calls?
Oh Lord.
Jerusalem, ikayalami, ilondolose, uhamenami, sungangishililana. Jerusalem, ikayalami, ilondolose.
Bang, 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 bang.
Nice. So let's get a piece of how that dances go, right? That the Matrix.
You don't fail to amuse, boy. Anyhow, people, if you need to see the real Moko original, you had to come to Spargos. You had to breach the feeling of insecurity and so on. Come across. Once they say you're coming to see Lennox, best bet your bottom dollar nobody will interfere with you. We need to get some dollars inside of that place. Yes. Business is not as nice as we would like it to be at this time.
We seen Andrea is laughing out loud. Nick laugh out loud. Nancy holding she heart. Chandra or Andy, you good. Marilyn.
I can well imagine what you impose on these people and them. I mean, it's a sight, but I understand.
But man, online gone mad, all you. Online gone mad.
What people I want you to know is a misrepresentation of what the reality is. Right. I mean, we have come to the end of this week's program. I want to tell you, have a wonderful weekend, people, and please, we will be back on Monday, and just make sure that things doesn't happen in such a way that you cause problems for yourselves. Nice. Andy.
Yes. So it's 2 minutes to the hour of 9 o'clock or 9 o'clock. Today was a great program. You all could have choose anywhere else or any other program to look onto. And you all choose the Ground Report right here on Talk City 91.1 FM. To all my maxi taxi drivers, PH drivers, bus drivers, thanks so much for making sure the traveling public look onto the Ground Report on Talk City 91.1 FM. But don't switch your dials at all. My maxis, my taxis. Don't switch your dial. Coming up next, Yes. Off the record with yours truly, Mr. X and Stefan Rees. Yes, Stefan. And remember, you all stay locked onto the program to ask X and Stefan. I just went where I hear them do on their program all here. It's X and Stefan is who say Nicole Dyer will make a good communication person. They sell me it, only I buy it, lock, stock, and barrel, and only costing me, but only ain't call them and tell them nothing. But only call to tell the pitbull if I have a loose screw. Why only do the pitbull that? And only tell Mr. X and Stefan is who come up with that, you know. And they sell me it, and I say, yeah, good idea. Them didn't call the surname, the marriage name. Me call the marriage name neither. But only figure out who I talking about and only cussing me. Anyhow, after God family comes first, stay locked on to Mr. X and Stefan that coming up next. After God family comes first, be safe on the nation's roads. Until Monday morning, please God, on behalf of the Ground Report team, Director Snipes, Lennox Smith, the big word man, I'm Andy Williams, the big bull of radio. We are out of here.
Bang, 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 bang.
These are not just stories, they are the echoes of who we are, passed down in voices, in silence, and in memory. From the heart of the Caribbean, where history, mystery, and magic meet, this is Echoes of Our Folklore. Echoes of Our Folklore. Your weekly journey into the legends, stories, and whispers of our islands. Brought to you by Talk City 91.1 FM. In the deep shadowed forests, there is a presence that has walked these lands long before roads, before cities.